Yep. Frick. Work. Holy crap. There. Hello, Sarah Lee. Sorry, I was just coaching for a bit. Hello, 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 hello. VP or Ultimate? I mean, I'm pulling for the Ultimate, but I don't know who's going to win. No freaking idea. What's up, Virat? Is she?
Guy also has a little bit more flexibility than Twilight. I think that's why you see these decisions being made here by the Ultimates. I would say as well, you know, if you're just kind of judging it, it has paid off, right? This has been much better than they've looked over the last, you know, few weeks in general, right? I mean, this was a 3-0 the last time we saw it. This is a very close series right now.
And it would be so like the Ultimates to push for a map 5 and take the series here. They always make that late stage run back as the coaching finally starts to take hold. Still, Virtus Pro start with control of the point, though. They're in the back in the Yari competitions, are very poke-oriented.
Let's get the quality bumped up here.
More than half prospect against the Sigma comp at the best of times.
I mean,
when am I doing Pugskin? Next week, I think. It's check the calendar in my Discord. It's usually fairly accurate.
Ultimately, like even kind of like save his lead to be able to get out is the immortality field used here, right? But it's just going to be silent. It's going to be able to
Hi, hello everybody. Are we good? Ultimates got their one. I was over in Commander X's stream between coaching sessions, and the voices just told me to spend my entire life savings of channel points onto the Ultimates. I can't really explain exactly why. I just have that third eye, and I won 185 points in addition to my 65,000 back. So I quadrupled my channel points instantly. And then some of those morons thought that was because the Ultimates are OP now, and decided to bet on the Ultimates the map afterwards and lost literally everything. So remember, guys, follow the letter of the law. If I don't endorse it, don't do it. No, gambling's only good if I endorse it. Pulling an all-nighters and traveling, just collapsed a hotel bed in Egypt. What better way to... What's up, mate? It must be, what, 11 for you? Midnight? Midnight, probably. Do you endorse all on black? I'm not telling you. See, this is the thing, is like when you're endorsing gambling, you have to be very selective, because you don't want to give away too many of your secrets, and because if you do it too often, then you just be gambling yourself. It's like all those gambling coaches. Why are you coaching me how to gamble when you could just gamble yourself and make more money? You know what I'm saying? That's not me. I'll give you guys every now and again a little bit, because it's more charity, but 11:20, okay. Or no, actually not even that late. Like, that's like 9:30, so I way overshot. I guess it's a little bit further west than Saudi. Virtus Pro caps. We've got the Lucio ban, which makes a lot of sense. The Ramatra ban, which also makes a lot of sense. Which composition do I like more? It's kind of a scam to answer that right now because these compositions are very likely to change at least a little bit throughout the course of this. Virtus Pro are what I like to call a first point Suravasa play or composition with the Cassidy and the EDRI, where both of those potentially will change as the map compresses a little bit. So for first point, I like Virtus Pro's composition better. But they also are more likely to swap than the Ultimates as the map develops. It's 21 and 20 in Saudi as well. Please don't bust my little bubble, okay? I was trying to look smart. Please stop reality checking me. Those day trading coaches, yes. Redstone, think of the sub. Why the frick am I wearing my wife's shirt? Because I couldn't find another clean shirt. I'm pretty sure we did laundry and it's in the basket and I just CBA. See? Ah! I'll show it to you guys after this. It's not a good time right now. Kitsune, they're able to disengage. Heesung gets chunked. I don't know what, if he just peeked the window or what, but... This is if we're going to see a Cassidy swap. This is probably when we'll see it, if we do see it. We might not see a Cassidy swap, but if we were to see it, it would probably be here. They're greeting this so much. The Ultimates are. They're really like Heesung really doesn't think he needs primal, but ooh, does Gala swap or does Gala stay? Yeah, they're gonna stay. Okay. Advice for watching pro POVs. Do you two have the same frame? It fits you pretty well. No, not really. It's just a little tight. Juno swap, so yeah, Gala does swap. I outweigh Pepper by like 45 pounds. Juno with Cassie is not terrible. Well, Alexa, the way to look, well, Alexa, remind me between rounds. I'll take a look. I'll answer that question a little bit more in detail. Cosplaying my wife? Yeah. Hey man, my wife looks good. I don't give a frick. You look pretty. Thank you, goblins. This comp makes a lot more sense with the Juno cast. It's still very strange, but there's like cohesion. Basically, you have speed boost for Cassidy, which allows him to rotate a lot easier, or disengage ultimates a lot easier. And you have D.Va that's pretty much self-sufficient, and then your Curie Tracer angle. You can see the Curie Tracer on the left and Juno Cassidy kind of on main with D.Va. This is like a really nice little setup here. Well, Kitsune with their Cassidy, and then they can also see that's the danger. If you can use Speed Ring and Suzu your Cassidy, then you will get value out of it. Like, he's gonna, like, right there, he's just melted, just gone. His existence might as well not even exist. That doesn't make any sense. Nicely done. Kai is so angled, though. I honestly wasn't even paying attention to what Kai was doing. Base, Spilo. Thank you. This is the fight for ultimates to win, though, because there's a... Well, actually, I don't know. Juno ult's coming up now, so there was a window there, but they might not hit it in time. Yeah, they're not going to hit it in time. They're not going to hit it in time. Heesung disengages that one really nicely, though. And they get the D-Mech. And they get the Suzu and Kai on the angle. Kai is angle pilled. And Primal. Oh, no! Oh, no! They needed that Primal. Oh, that sucks. That's so unfortunate. If they catch a stagger here, this is over. That's brutal. Oh, yeah. Man. He'll get the touch, but there's just no teeth to it at all. Good focus on the Juno, but he's gonna die. Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa! He got one! Oh! Oh no, it was recalled. Kev actually got the stick on the Tracer. Oh, and then Jwoo just... Are you freaking kidding me? Oh, no. Well, lesson learned. If you're gonna bet channel points, only do it when I say so. Are you ever gonna do an Atlas VOD review or whatever? Maybe, maybe not. I want to play it a little bit more. The day it came out on Tuesday, we did a full run through with a bunch of pugs, even some low rank pugs, and I've already coached it twice now. So I'm getting a little bit better kind of familiarizing myself with it. The thing that makes Atlas kind of interesting though is like I would be happy to do a review because people are gonna ask for it. Turn this down just a little bit, but like it just doesn't really need a review. I will do it, but it's just not a huge priority for me because I mean I'll do it for content, I guess, but like it's well designed enough to where you can figure it out pretty quickly on your own. This isn't like some super weird, you know. So yeah, so Lexa, what I would do is I would go into the review trying to pay attention to a single facet of their gameplay. So that would be either how they're using their blinks, or how they're positioning themselves, or how they're playing mechanically, like how they're aiming their weapon, and just focus on one facet. They may not execute that facet perfectly, but you will learn to kind of question certain aspects. And I also encourage you not to shy away from criticizing what they're doing. Even pro players make mistakes. Oh, look, it's Rich. And I think that, dude, Rich has got the freaking Spylo going on here with the hair. There it is. I respect that. And I would encourage you to just be critical. Try to predict what's good. Do I like that? Do I not like that? Why don't I like that? And just do one specific facet of their coaching or their play. Sorry. Sarah Lee, mate, your contrarianism, like if you're gonna troll effectively, you're gonna have to be more selective. You're too easy to read now. Do you think Atlas tops Surivasa? Yes, absolutely. In terms of like general popular opinion, yes. It's a very safe bet. It's like a freaking I'm trying to think of like what a good analogy is. You know what it is? It's like Monsters Inc., you know? And for Pixar movies. It's a good movie. It doesn't do anything crazy or wild. It's just good. So, it's a pretty safe bet to say that it's a good movie, you know? But it's also not like, oh, you're so vanilla if you like it. It's just a good movie. I don't know if I love Atlas, to be honest. Yeah. You don't have to love it. I'm just saying it's probably going to be a pretty inoffensive like for most people. Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice. I have not seen it. Yeah. Yeah. So it's fine. Oh God! Chipsa never made a mistake. Yes, Chipsa never made a mistake. Make sure you watch the Ultimate Edition. Okay, sounds good. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it is unfortunate the end though, right? So the Ultimates, we won't see them for a while. Virtus Pro though, keep themselves alive and in the mix, and a lot of that obviously due to very, very explosive individual performances here, Rich.
Yeah, they really were. I mean, honestly, just as a whole.
Do you notice the setup there? Rich accidentally starts to talk, so he interrupts, but keeps going. But then she lays up Rich afterwards, so that there's like a good dynamic there. Do you think they'll ever play 6v6 again in OWCS? I don't think so. I don't think so. Shockwave. Had a bit of a renaissance for his career. Love to see it. What does Shockwave say?
This time around, though, they played it a little closer. What do you think made this match closer?
I think they just kind of found a style that works for them, you know? They're playing like double flex, and like everyone is like kind of on heroes that make sense for them. So I think they almost figured it out a little bit too late. So
almost.
Yeah.
Tough. Well, you know, now that you've solidified this third spot moving forward, do you have at least a little bit of weight off your shoulder?
Is it me, or does he have like a mud flap logo on his freaking shirt? Am I the only one who sees that? Like, what is that?
For you in the squad now, at least that you've got that little bit of like.
I didn't know Shockwave was like a 45-year-old like.
Now looking forward, what is that?
Goatee truck driver
for you and the team?
I mean, it's hard in EU because the practice is like kind of weird because you have LKT and Twisted Minds kind of playing the sim, and we don't really like the sim too much. But then it's like you want to win
Classic
the
EU
whole
problem.
thing, but you also have to beat TU, and they don't play sim at all, you know. So it's like so much stuff you have to figure out, you know. But I think winning this game is probably the most important because a lot of
I
our
see.
practice is
My
for
bad,
winning
Sailor.
everything and figuring out TM and LKT, right? So yeah, I think we'll see how our practice like will result versus TM and LKT.
Exactly,
I
it's
actually
Wukong.
brought that up in the pre-show as well, that obviously they play a bit of a different style, so you're gonna have to prepare a lot against
We should do
Symmetra,
predictions
and you
in
said it
ours.
yourself.
I
You
forgot.
know, we have prepared a
I
lot
always
for
forget.
the Symmetra, the rest of this tournament, considering Twisted Minds, Alcatia, they play that. Was there ever, especially considering your loss last weekend to Twisted Minds in a pretty dominant fashion, did you ever have any doubts about your own compositions going into this final weekend? Like, we're not really loving the Cassidy as much, but obviously you came out and played the Cassidy. Like, what were the questions, the discussions within the team about what compositions like you would play? And did you have any doubts about the way you've been playing going into this final weekend?
Yeah, Reinforces,
I
good
think
job.
midway through the weekend, we kind of like solidified our comps, and we had like a general idea, at least versus what's it called, versus TU. But man, I'll be honest, like I'm not gonna lie, like there's so many like comps and stuff being played, you know, and especially with Symmetra, like people don't understand how stressful it is to play versus Symmetra, you know, because of the long TP perk. Like the game is, it's honestly
Cager, I appreciate the raid, mate. How was your co-stream,
so
my
much
friend?
going on, so.
Yeah, and the meta already just recently shifted towards that.
What's the prophecy, Stefano? I would agree, but I don't know what the prophecy
We
is.
figured that out heading into the playoffs,
You know what?
But you secure.
I'm gonna VIP Cager, guys. I'm gonna do it. I've been trying to be a little bit more of the content creator guy and doing things that content creators do.
Matches tomorrow.
Welcome, Cager.
Thank you.
Great to hear from Shockwave. Yeah, it is really.
I am sad as always that my beloved Scarippa has lost, but I'm happy that the beautiful Gala has won. Yes.
See all those different
I am disappointed I am a Kevster fan. Yes, it was very disappointing. I'm a Kevster fan as well.
with all those different compositions. With the
Was that player saying playing against Sim is hard? Yes. With the teleport perk at this high of a level, there's especially European players, bro, they're gonna freaking find a way to make it valuable.
for a viewer, this is gold. Like it's actually so much fun.
I'm freaking hungry, boys! Ah!
Just playing like 6 compositions, there's bans everywhere, there's
Sucks, man.
the game, like, it's
Is
all
it
over the
Smeeto's
place.
brother? No.
So much room
That's
for
Rich Rad.
and creative,
Good dude. I've worked with Rich and Kenobi a few times here.
individuals who are being put into position to absolutely shine. Jabu has been a player
I've worked with a few casters,
long for
actually. I'm going to be working with another caster next month, or in a couple weeks.
Please glaze him. He is
Go find some food. I don't know, bro. Like, I just, yeah, choose some plants outside. Yeah, I'll do that real fast. That's a good idea. I'll do that one. Player of the match, Jay Woo. Chat, is Jay Woo like new? I'm not saying like new. Like I've obviously seen him play several games and he's looked great. But was he playing last year? Like is he just? I very rarely do you see people kind of come out of nowhere. It's just I wasn't paying attention to contenders or whatever. One of my colleague players sent me Google Doc of all the super nasty roads you could find with long TP. Starve Wither Away. Thank you, Contractor.
best tracers we've ever had in
Tier 2 Korean player last? Okay, so yeah, he's been around for a while then.
literally that guy.
Yeah, the teleport perk is really useful. Sim has really solid perks. I don't like all of them in terms of what they lean into, but they are all really good. The problem is that Sim's base kit's still a bit iffy. He moved to Europe for this year and we've developed a lot. He's popped off. Nice.
I'm just sitting here watching. I'm like, what? Like, what? There's so many times I'm like, what happened? Like, what did it do? Like, Jabo is just one of those highlight.
Oh, what is going on with my chat? Whoa. I forgot. We did some adjustments here. Hang on. I got to fix this here. I got to fix this.
Acronym for you too. Instead of it being actions per minute, it's amazements per minute.
That's right. That's right.
But it's like confounding. I'm like, what just
Black screen. Chat. Oh, yeah, because we moved it for the thingy. The thingy was moved.
Faceit.com/watch, right? Because you can see that
There.
they're chilling out and doing so good. I know.
Who do we have next? Alcad and TM. What's up, Paul Fi? How are you, mate? How's my least favorite
It's a tall,
Florida
ahead of them.
man?
They will be facing off against either OWCS
Rank 1 DPS EU right now? Nice. What do you not like about Sim's base kit? I think that too much of her current implementation, especially within before and after perks, is around choke denial. It's a little bit too much into choke denial. They've moved away from where she was earlier in Overwatch 2, which is like more dynamic, which is why you saw a lot of Symmetra OTPs having a lot of fun. I think like, yeah. I think it would have been more fun to have more uses for turrets and stuff. Your food is ready. What are you eating, Queen? See, I freaking hate your name because I have to compliment you every time I say your name. That's just so unlucky, man. Why couldn't my name have been like King or like Maximum Big Chest Intelligent Wizard Genius? I should have changed my stream name to Genius. But no, that sounds passive aggressive. That sounds like sarcastic. She has 1,000 HP. Okay, least favorite's crazy. All right, man, you're my favorite. My grandparents live in Florida, and you're my favorite Florida man. You know, come on. What do you want? Spiral's a real genius. See, you just sound sarcastic. Hey, Abby. Master? But that sounds like I'm Masters, which obviously I'm not Masters, guys. I'm way higher ranked than that. I'm not 5-head. Exclamation mark Norway. Please don't get Sarah started. Biggest. I mean, I appreciate the suggestion, but can I please get context on this Norway thing? There's just no context. Sarah Lee's rage baiting, makes up random topic to go schizo on, and there you go. You're the can opener for Amari, of course. Queen, you never said what you were eating. You're dodging the question. Oh, you said sandwich. Okay, never mind. It was so incredibly boring that I actually just missed it. High weekly forehead reveal. No. Oh, yeah, TM. Yeah, this should be pretty spicy. Maybe some Symmetra mirrors. My boy Landon. Has anyone used Nest Head as a nickname? Yes, everything involving Bird's Nest has been danced around from like 7 different off angles, which is coincidental, but, you know. Icelandic cooldowns? What are your thoughts on Venture's current state? I haven't played enough to really tell you how strong Venture is, but it definitely felt like a pretty significant buff, for sure. So, I don't know how I feel about Venture. Venture is one of those characters I need to put a lot more thought into. I think they're in a fine position generally, like they're relatively inoffensive, so that's why they haven't really come to the forefront. But it definitely does feel like there's just not enough skill ceiling for the character. She's like, if you think about like Tracer, okay? So she's got really high skill floor, really high skill ceiling. You look at Winston, really high skill floor, really high skill ceiling. You look at Venture, really high skill floor, skill ceilings, I wouldn't say as high as like a Tracer or a Ball skill floor, but then the skill ceiling just isn't really there. But to be honest with you guys, like I don't know. It doesn't have to be, you know, like I think Venture is like one of those characters where like the design is unique enough. They're not cancer to play into completely. Like they can be annoying, but like, so like, let Venture have some creativity and flexibility. I don't know. I don't look at Venture as being. I'm trying to think of like a good example. Venture is like Ryan maybe would be a good example of like, yeah, I see their problems with the character's kit. I'm not going to disagree with you, but like I just don't think it's enough of a priority for me to spend a lot of brain power into it. Hey, Define Caps. Smita made a Venture video. Yeah, I saw. I haven't seen the video, but I saw that he posted one. In 16 days, Spilo is going to go missing or Min kissing. Mark my words. What does the second half of that sentence even mean? Or Min kissing? What was Samito's problems with Venture? I'm going to play a game of telephone with this, I know, but Freya gets lots of hate. Freya's just a new kid on the block. Freya will kind of fade a little bit. Give her like 3-4 months. Just wait. He's basically talked about how the limited movement exiting Brawl and all holds him back. Yeah. Yeah, maybe like some quality of life stuff with Venture and I don't know, man. Like, it's not a huge problem. I know I'm like the rework guy, but there's some characters that just aren't really that big of a deal. Please don't cut us off today. Hey, in theory, listen, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, YouTube guys. Like, it is not your fault. You are suffering. It is not your fault. I tried a new coach stream thing. I have a new internet thing that I'm trying to make it work. I'm really trying to give you guys the love and attention that you guys so desperately deserve. You guys watch your ads too. You know what I'm saying? You're feeding my children. Too simple, Sam says boring. Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like I said, it's kind of where the skill ceiling comes into play, right? It just isn't as much. A lot of it is kind of holding off angles and poking. Like, there's definitely a skill ceiling there, you know? But basically, when you have a character that doesn't really have a headshot modifier and has mobility, you're expecting more, you know? But there just isn't a lot more. It's just, you know, so it's hard. Sometimes YouTube only stream says a Twitch viewer, which I don't know if that's just them being self-sacrificial and considerate or them just legitimately never wanting to see my face. So Arceus, I'm going to choose the latter and just assume that you hate my guts. I know a lot of supports hate Venture. Yeah, if you're a static support and Venture closes the gap and you don't shoot back, you're kind of screwed. There's lots of tools that deal with Venture, but any, like, I don't know, like, so many supports hate characters that you have to shoot at to make them go away. So if supports hating them, I don't really care. Supports hate Winston, supports hate Brawl, supports hate Genji, supports hate Tracer, supports hate Doomfist, supports hate freaking everything that can access them. So who gives a frick?
Right, because the only maps that OWCS dropped, all 3 of those maps that they dropped were in week 1. 2 of them against Twisted Minds, right? So
Yeah, a lot of support players just want to play Marvel Rivals. Which is like, oh, I never get contested and I just turn my brain off and I play, you know, Subway Surfers on my front line. Quartz, UBKSA, Astro Simple. Psycho, TVNT. Yeah, I'd agree with that, Cactus. I think the hard part about Venture is that, like, you just don't want to take away Venture's, like, kind of hero fantasy. I don't think the hero fantasy is toxic enough to really question. I just think it has to be done well. You just watch irrespective of platform. So wait a second. You're saying that I assume the worst about you, but you're just the sweetest, youngest, nicest, kindest individual supporter of me. So I just trash talked one of my dedicated, goated supporters for absolutely no reason whatsoever, just outside the fact that I just assume the worst. I love that. It's so par for the course. What was the tweet, Raya? Simple hit champ 1 a couple days ago, by the way. Nice. Youngest? I don't know, bro. Just freaking adjectives started coming up. Baldest. Tallest. Smelliest. Largest pectorals. Worst taste in socks. Who is the middle smiling talking about Overwatch Impossible? Rich Rad. Rich Rad's been casting collegiate tier 2 for years, and he's also done many appearances in the Overwatch League / top OWCS. He's just more of a guest appearance. Maybe I'm just getting older, I know, but even with the trace buff, it's so hard to enjoy Overwatch. I think it's way too many. I mean, that's such a rage bait tweet, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm not saying rage bait like purposefully, but Tracer has plenty of tools of dealing with supports. It's just a duel that you have to take patiently. That's always been the case with Tracer, and I don't think saying otherwise is dumb. Like, here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing, okay? I am the guy that says Marvel Rivals brain dead support player, dumb, her, right? So your alternative is to, you know, make support thoughtful and duelist focused and be able to defend themselves. You can't say, oh, support players they're too OP in dueling, and then also criticize support players for being brain dead. I'm not saying that time is necessarily doing that by any means, and I'm not saying there's not nuance in that discussion, but my whole point is that, like, yes, that's exactly how Overwatch supports should be designed. They should be able to fight you back and juggle the mixed responsibilities. That's what we want. And Tracer wins every 1v1 versus the support cast if it lasts longer than 10 seconds. Now you're like, oh, but 10 seconds is a long time. Yeah, but you're not expected to get a pick, you know? It's the effort trade that feels so bad, though. I mean, I guess. But that's just Tracer forever. It's never been not the case in 10 years of Overwatch. But you've always had the ability to outplay anybody. Whereas characters, no offense, like, you know, Reaper, Winston, even Wrecking Ball, have always put in more effort, but not necessarily even had the opportunity to outplay people because their kits aren't as expansive and flexible as Tracer is. Yeah, when you sign up to play Tracer, you have signed up to put in more effort than the person that you're dueling most of the time. But if you do put in more effort, you will win most of your duels. It rewards the effort. As opposed to a lot of other characters where it doesn't matter how good you play it, you're not going to be able to do it. Hello, Carmen. I think the real thing needs to be like, how can we bring more skill floor and skill ceilings up to Tracer's level, which is probably Time's point, or, well, you know. And I'm like, yeah, that's fair. Sigma is such a freaking meta-aware choice here. Literally never would see Sigma here, except for the fact of this stupid first fight and stupid Symmetra. And I'm honestly not even convinced that it's good if they're able to play the high ground like Ziad is playing right now. I guarantee you KSA swaps. Was I a good student? You talking to me? You talking to me? Okay, I can't do that. Sorry.
I find it hard to make a strong argument for anybody but Ziad. I mean, he has been so good for this.
Yeah, I was a good student. I mean, I think so. Yeah. I don't remember what my GPA was in college, but all A's and all that kind of stuff. How do you play slow with Tracer who demands speed? You just shoot the tank when Tracer's distracting backline. That's basically it. You don't have to shoot the same target as she does. Tracer is so incredibly flexible because she doesn't demand pocket. She just pulls resources and allows you to win trades elsewhere. They actually stayed Sigma. That's surprising. Case in point. It's too easy to isolate him. He's just too freaking slow, even with teleporter here. Why is Lucio with the Sig over Brigitte? I think Lucio's just really strong here. I know there's like a little bit of Bat Brig here, but I think with the amount of rotations that you need, I think you need some sort of Lucio here. The Fnacs are back to the Nordic talk again. Shh. Just let them just kind of go off with their nonsense discussions. It's fine. Just keep them in the corner in their little straitjackets. The inmates are doing their things, you know. Yeah, TLDR, I understand what you're saying, Rhea. I agree with you, but I think we have to be very careful about what we describe or prescribe as the solution. Really, really nice disengager from TM. And they're going to keep going with Kitsune. They catch with Flux and Window. They catch with the Sim Wall. Beat is layered on top. Astro layers that on top. Twisted Minds should win this, assuming nobody gets picked. But the problem with the Sigma is that he's just slow. And so during the chaos, D.Va can just get in your face, and Alcadzia runs it. That's incredible. Incredible layering from both teams there. And I just think that now it comes down to mechanics and focus fire. That was a masterclass of layering right there, guys, by the way. From both teams. That was really well done. Good touch by Astro. Quartz doesn't build. The only reason I think TM loses is because of compositional proximity once the layering ended. In other words, D.Va was basically in the middle. She's just better. And Quartz didn't have... I don't know if they sim walled too late or if he didn't have it, Yubi. And then Quartz obviously didn't have anything to win the layering. Sigma is insane. It is a exclusively compositional counter pick that they've cooked up to deal with the Symmetra meta that both these teams are predictably playing. And even then, I'm still not convinced. They obviously had results with it that they wanted to run with, but yeah. Twisted Minds could win this, guys. That's a nice little shield share there. Astro, no, they don't. Astro gets booped out. Why is Juno Brig falling off so heavily? Juno got sledgehammer nerfed repeatedly. The ultimate being the big nerf. People kept playing her because pros' opinion either overcompensates or lags behind. It takes them a while to figure out that the character isn't that good. Case in point with Hazard, case in point with Freya. But yeah, people you figure out that like, oh wow, this character's not that good. And also Kiriko perk buffs were really big. There's also like other things that have happened around it as well. fall off, right? Juno's perks just weren't as good as Kiriko's in this kind of a meta. Kiriko got some buffs. Did an ult nerf, like, hammered Juno as well.
Doesn't die at all. Really dominant stuff.
Brig did okay with perks, but Brig was more enabling Juno. Juno was the mover and shaker of the meta. Like, Brigitte was there to enable Juno, not the other way around. It was synergy, of course, but yeah. Okay, Sim Sim Cass. Both are good on this point. The Diva is gone, or the Sigma is gone. Colosseo, and they actually go back to BAP Ryan. Okay, so this is what Twisted Minds can do. They have KSA, who's probably a little bit more flexible, I think, on tank. And if they speed Ryan in, they didn't clear the angle, though. This is a bad rotation from TM. You're going to run Ryan, you need to swing through angles and not run it down main. This is not well executed right now. This is not a good rotation. This is just TP on backline and pray for the best. These rotation, and then they TP on backline and then they stand on point. You TP on backline and then rotate, swing through an angle. You wrap around. That's always how this TP works with. That's how it works without teleport. KSA needs to swap. They don't know how to play it. Okay, they're gonna stick with it. Let's see if they can fix it. When is that fresh buzz cut coming in? When are you donating $7,000 in a brand new Maserati? There's the TP on the angle. They need to keep wrapping. Go to high ground. Go to high ground. Go to high ground. Go to high ground. I think you actually have to just mark the Lucio and trust going to high ground. And then you can drop the point and pin to the point. This is just tedious. The BAP window is useful, though. That will allow the KSA to get to the corner. KSA needs to hold the corner. He needs to hold the corner. He needs to hold the corner. Why are we back here? Why are we back here? Even with Blizzard,
you can see just what they can do behind a big air matrix play.
I have a wife. Are you disappointed?
You start to ramp a little bit on Yubi, and that's kind of where it starts to look good. And that's the Kitsune rush from OWCS. So we'll see how OWCS does.
All right. Good luck, KSA. This is where things get sauced.
You could look for like a sneaky. Are you trying to do like a
Open with Kitsune. Does TM disengage? Oh, no, they don't have Kitsune. I'm dumb. They open with Simwall, maybe? There it is. Layer Simwall? They need to layer Simwall. There it is. Point stalled. No off angles. Everyone's standing in a choke. Sim has a pretty high beam, though. We might see a teleport Blizzard. Beautiful. That's it. They're cooked. Beat, but the beat's terrible. He's dead anyway. It's not a terrible beat. Like, I don't want to... That's pessimistic, but, like, you just can't... Yeah. Yeah. I thought you were only dating? No. No, I was in high demand, you know, when I was younger, so that didn't, you know... Sticks and stones were being thrown. This is good. Okay, you got wall. Shatter. Oh, yeah. I don't know, man. Is TM just not as good in the mirror? Oh, no. I mean, you have the flexibility of, like, where if KSA over Ziad, but, like, maybe it's just not enough. Frick, man. Shut up, Gucci. The neckline looks good on you. Thanks, man. Spylo Shatter? Yeah. Yeah, that was just not close at all. It looked like Okay, so TM... That round tried to out-counter the mirror. And to be honest with you... I hated it. The Rhine could work, absolutely, but you have to know how to do it correctly. Teleport backline, speed, rotate, clear space, get your Rhine on a corner. And they just didn't do it. And then obviously the mechanics aren't there as well either. And then the Sigma I liked a lot less, but was... Yeah, I mean, so, yeah, GG's. I mean, there must be some scrim results going on behind the scenes here, because, because you don't just pull this out without a good reason. So I'm being cynical of the execution. I'm not questioning the decision of them trying it. I think it's fine, yeah. But if that's how you play it, you're not going to win. So Yeah, so free Ram Bam, force him into a Diva Mirror. KSA is not going to take the Diva Mirror here, and they just didn't have another choice, which is crazy. I bet everyone showed up to your wedding dressed appropriately. Yes, the dress code was show up either completely naked or wearing a burlap sack. For whatever reason, everyone took the latter option. It was really awkward, honestly, because apparently I was the only one that, well, Alkazi, yeah. I mean, to be honest with you guys, yeah, exactly. The strategy of TM trying to mix things up is totally reasonable, but the execution was left much to be desired there. And that was Alkadzia's map, right? So that obviously they forced that to kind of open up their stuff. Your burlap maxing. Yeah, yes, it does matter where you put the burlap sack. It needs to go directly over your head, and everywhere else is optional. You get what I'm saying? You catch when I'm throwing down. You salute when I'm running up the pole. You know what I'm saying?
Their recovery time is lessened in between shots. So these are tweaks, right? Very minor tweaks. You know, Mag has always been tweaks.
Perfect. Nice. I love that. I love that from you.
It should just be less all the time. Just less everything.
My hair is just awful. I'm gonna get a haircut, I think, next week. TM goes circuit, ban BAP. Yeah, Ram is safe now, so you can just do Ram, and then wherever your support lineup is, I don't know what teams like less preferred, but yeah, probably just ban Landon's BAP and take your preferred support lineup and run it down. You're gonna have to take a Ram mirror, I think. I think Diva versus Ram on circuit's pretty bad because it's just a one narrow choke. It's not easy to use your mobility there. I don't know what you freaking do, to be honest with you guys. When is stage 2 ending? This is playoffs, right? So, bald low? What do you mean bald low again, guys? I didn't go bald. How do you know if you're marrying? Who you're marrying if everyone has a burlap sack over the head? Well, I didn't. Remember, I was naked. You guys forgot about that point. I understand. TM bans Farah. That seems pretty fair. I assume that's kind of like Alkadzia pocket pick. So you just need to ban a pocket pick. You're going to get the Ram that you want. So you ban the weird DPS or weird support where they have the advantage. And then Alkadzia tries to do the same. You playing anything today or just co-streaming? Probably just co-streaming today. Yep. I might do some maybe night run challenge runs, but I don't know if I'm going to stream or not. Yeah, actually the Pharah would be really good versus Symmetra now that I think about it. So this kind of forces the Ram Sim. Yes, this is my wife. Oh yeah, I was going to show you guys. Check it out. Does that look familiar? Ah, frick. Does that look familiar? It was the only clean tank top I found, so. It's got the little hatchback thing, which is kind of uncomfortable, but I don't want to take it off because it's like a hair tie. I'd have to like break it. Yeah, I know people mistake me for Brigitte all the time, so. The corniest shirt in human history. Well, if the shoe fits, you know. Ram, Sim, Sojourn, Kirilusu. 0 surprises from... Well, actually, I mean, it is a surprise from Alkadzia, I guess. Maybe that... I would be shocked if we don't just see a straight-up mirror here, but... Ooh, I don't know, man. Maybe Checkmate goes May, like Uber saying at some point. But I don't really know what else you play here. Maybe BAP on 3rd or 2nd? I don't know. Cornlow? Win naked co-stream? It's a good question. Cornlow. Would you rather do it New Junk City or Junkertown? Probably Junkertown. Dude, Junkertown is like trashy but has personality. New Junk City has a little bit less personality, I think. They go Freya. Okay, cool. That's their little variation. I mean, I don't know, Sarah, like, it could just be one of those things where, like, the verticality or the angles and Kitsune's, they value Kitsune too much. But yeah, it's a good question. It's probably just one of those, like, preference things with, like, Kitsune's just too good. New Junk City is much better. I mean, as a map, sure, but if I'm having a wedding, you know. This is like when people picture EMEA. Let me turn this up a little bit. EMEA Overwatch. I think this is what they're picturing. Just remember, this is the worst tank mirror in the game. The worst tank mirror in the game. It's not even close. They push through BAP window. This is kind of what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? Kitsune versus BAP window. It was not a well set up BAP window from Simple, so it's not like there's no counterplay to that at all, but it's just easier. Is it NA that loves RAM? Yeah, it's fair. It's kind of both. Recently, we've been seeing a bit more dive. But it's nowadays, I feel like it's EMEA more. I think NA has been a little bit more dive filled. Good rotation from Quartz here with the Lucio. Beat. Sim wall. Cool. And now we just AFK. KSA has active ult, and the checkmate gets the angle with his tier 3 beam. I'm curious to see if he chooses the... he probably chooses the beam distance perk, to be honest with you guys, in this matchup, rather than the heal perk. It's one of the few niches where it's really good. Big trade, big trade, big trade. Yeah, very good trade. So they'll go to the next corner now. I freaking hate my life. I could handle this for one match before I want to like repeatedly bash my toenails in with a sledgehammer. Not even Freya can save this one for me. Sojourn using response, Simwall layered, they disengage, they're baiting the Ram ult. So they want to pull them in a little bit closer and then just snap back. And there's really nothing that TM has for this either. Lebda needs to swing wide left, there's Vortex, there's Shield. There's the shield, there's the Vortex, here comes the... Yeah, there's the Kitsune. Oh, they had Kitsune, I didn't even notice. Well disengaged, but this is just push-pull, man. Yubi catches Kelix with an alt fire. What the frick is an off angle? Lamp is poorly placed. They do get the trade, but honestly, I think if you're Alcadze, you take that. Especially that. That's going to be nice. I think you should be able to touch here if you're fast. Yeah, they're going to teleport to touch. That's going to get Ziad there, and they'll be fine. They catch Quartz on the rotation, or catches Checkmate on the rotation, which is a little bit unfortunate. That's a nice play from Quartz. That's going to allow them to snap back as 6 sooner, or 5 sooner, as well as Aster having beat here. I think Twisted Minds should win this one. That's a good shot there. There's Suzu. KSA is getting chunked like Campbell Soup. And we're looking for an opportunity to push. The beat comes in. KSA gets it just in time, and Ziad falls over like Angel Hair Spaghetti. I hate my life. This is the worst thing I have ever seen in my life. This is worse than Cats, the movie.
Yeah, if you would have gotten that Kellex sound barrier, that could have been really interesting. But Twisted Minds, they get that early sound barrier. Funny Astro drops its speed. Get right in Ziad's face as soon as
they're trying to stuff choke here because Freya spam, but they get the TP out plus the turrets. This is a 4v5, but they have the space. KSA needs to back the frick off, though, because they got rotated around on. That was a nice teleport from Kadze. Kadze has beat. Kadze has Kitsune. They'll probably play a little bit slower for the latter. KSA gets his Ram ult forced, and Lepta just runs it down. Really weird setup for TM. That was way too hubristic given the ult situation. That's a hold that you hold when you have way more ults. They're going to throw everything. Kelix uses beat. I don't love that. I would have preferred the Kitsune later, but the Kitsune is still going to be used. Ooh, they need to kill now. That was really poorly played from Alcadzia. TM's hubris is rewarded in spades. That should not have happened at all, bro. What? What? Watching Romasu makes me want to tear my eyes out. Both tearing up and tearing out. We love to see it. Freya gets the good angle here. Freya's really good for this choke spam. Better than any other hit scan, really. You can just vomit. Ah! Okay, there's the TP perk being utilized to perfection there. And now they flip the map. So the danger here is if Twisted Minds is... Never mind. They're going to explode. Disregard. Well, that disregard. All that luxury off of that amazing teleport, and it literally doesn't matter. I don't even know what happened. I don't know if it was Quartz. I don't freaking know.
Feels like Alcazia's just playing a little bit too fast, Mitch, right? Like they're just...
Alcazia's just lost one fight like 3 times.
That's kind of the extent of their play. I think the communication in that last fight...
Do a TP top? They're waiting. They're waiting. They're waiting. They're waiting. They're waiting. They're waiting. They're dropping with Ram. I don't think they're going to TP top. No, they're doing the layering here. They're trying to bait Vortex and crap, and then teleport out if they need to. And they're probably just content to park it here. It's really hard to push beyond this choke for both team, and obviously the defender's advantage here means that you don't have to. So if you're TM here, you're either looking for a high ground, kind of a silly rotate, or you're just waiting for Quartz to do something. Trying to isolate Ziad, but he's getting full pocket. He also has ult, so he does the reset. The Biga comes in. Kelix doesn't get his off in time. Funny Aster dropped to 1 HP here. I'm telling you, man, these ult fights are going TM's way. It's just ult fights from TM. Everything else has been fine from Alkadzie, but they're just fumbling the bag in these layers. Like, this has been really, really bad. There's the Kitsune. Disengage. That's fine. It's the use of a Kitsune. It's not the end of the world. You need to get Ziad off of ball ASAP. Yeah, he's off. Okay, so they're back on. BAP window's going to be used on main. That's a good layer. Angle. Checkmate's not there in time. Gets exploded. Lamp is late, but it doesn't matter. Huge play. Huge play. Huge play. Huge. And huger. What do you think about the Lucio perk for amps inside a beat? It's pretty good. It's definitely more of a pro play thing where you need, like, you can get value out of amp speeding in consistently. But it's a fine perk, yeah. Beat is so broken when you can walk on top of the enemy team's head. Yep. All right, TM. Are they going to do a full high ground rotate? I think they should. Yeah, they are. Okay. So then they're going to flip the map, and they're going to try to steal the cart. Now, that means that your poke DPS will have a superior position. So if you drop your ram to cart now, I think they're just waiting until they build a little bit of ult charge, but yeah, so they don't want the robot to rotate away too. Sim, teleport, backline trades, backline rotate. That's always dangerous with a Freya, though. So Freya actually flips the map here. These rotations are crazy. This is really difficult to do, guys, so it's boring as sin to watch, but it's also really, really, really hard to do. Kitsune is the first ultimate available. BAP's screwed. BAP's screwed. BAP is screwed. There's no way that he lives in that room. Doesn't matter. Shouldn't matter. Shouldn't matter. Shouldn't matter. Well, respawns matter a lot here. Respawns matter a lot here. KSA will live for another 5 seconds. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, that's it.
Nice job, I think, from both teams there.
Yeah, it was fine. Twisted Minds is just kicking themselves in the amount of light. Alkadzie, sorry, is kicking themselves in the amount of fights that they just threw in the dumpster fire. Quartz gets a lot of credit for that kind of stuff, but, like, yikes. You find it so enjoyable to watch? That's okay. You're allowed to have a bad opinion every once in a while. The flips are nice. Yes, that's true. I will agree with that. Yep. Because the key thing is that it's like the whole dynamic rotation thing we talk about with support players, right? You got to move. You got to move. You got to find your next angle. You got to find your next angle. You got to find your next angle and do so constantly. Yeah. And this is also, frankly, easily the most cancer thing that we could be seeing, which is a Ram Mirror and Circuit Royale, which even post-rework is still easily the worst map in Overwatch. But, yeah. Well, decent. Yeah, I was going to say, I guess Orisa versus the Symmetra is just bad. You see, the reason why we're not seeing more Orisa versus the Ram, even though the matchup is really good for Orisa, is just the Symmetra is really rough, right? Like, does this comp the new GOATs? No, not even close. This is two teams that have the perfect hero pool. Oh, shut up. Listening in.
No, I can clear lap solo. So, Tonori lap.
Yeah, they have Rob.
That's checkmate.
They're not lap side. You can just stick together.
Fire. Yep. I'll hard block you, Lab, don't worry.
Yeah.
This is why they're running the Orisa, because of the Bastion. And the Mei. I love this. I love this so much. KSA has to swap to Orisa, I think.
Maybe he's speeding up.
No, it doesn't matter. We can join it.
So this Symmetra gatekeeps the Orisa from being played, but then you run Mei to isolate the Symmetra and Bastion to just murder the Symmetra, this is good. And this also plays to hero strengths as well. They're going to try to speed the Ram to live that cycle, thus the Juno swap, which I really like, but it doesn't catch the Symmetra, and Symmetra's unable to disengage. This is really smart from Alcadzia. I love this, actually. I cannot underemphasize how neat of a little counter comp they've cooked up here. And again, it plays to hero strengths. Ziad, Landon, checkmate. I'm not as familiar with Lebda and Bastion, but I'm sure he's fine. Yeah, this is really good. They're going to go... I don't know, did they start on Kiri? Are they going BAP now, or they start on BAP? Ram sucks versus this, man. Ram is not good versus Bastion. He just makes you basically perma-block, which is not what you want. It's a nice thing. Bola. Ult for ult, holding space. I love the Bastion ult timing. It's just creating big mess. Keeps Ram low, forces Simwall, disengage, catch with Beat and Orisa ult. The Beat's forced a little bit. They don't need to do anything with it immediately, but they're going to layer the Mail on top of it because this fight, you must win. You use everything here. Twisted Minds also has swapped a lot of their heroes, so they don't have the layering here. They don't even have Ram ult, bro. Yep, huge. Alcadzi's running with it, man. Running with it. I mean, I don't even know if Alcadzi needs to swap here.
Sick play from Ziad. Yubi like drops the TP to kind of go in, right? To just kind of play for this checkpoint. And obviously Alcadzia is extremely pushed out. Ziad uses like spear spin, pushes them all back off of it. The extra damage comes
BAP window. They're just trying to think about BAP window here. Okay, there's Vortex. This is where Symmetra TP is useful, so if we do see a Symmetra TP or Symmetra swap, it will probably be on third point. Bola lamp window. They needed a. They need an angle here. You need an angle here. Maybe a Mei flank. They got it. They got the angle. They got the angle. Mei took the angle. Ah, that a boy. Checkmate. Woo! Yeah, buddy. Yes. Good. 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 Nicely done by Alcadzia. They broke the choke.
Well, they want to end up using this sim wall here to potentially try and fight this. So this is going to negate some of the damage that the Bastion can put down. But you see now on the sim.
Oh, they broke the turret or the teleporter.
It's actually the Terror Surge yoinked in to the artillery strike.
Hello, Brand Bear. Good stuff. Good stuff. Now, this is where Twisted Minds comp should be better. There's a way more space for turrets and teleports and Freya. What is Alcadzia going to do? Are they just going to ignore the high ground entirely? I mean, they have beat and window, but a quartz flank here, sorry, could be really scary. Wait, they swapped Symmetra. I didn't even notice. I'm dumb. Perfect. 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 We love this. Dude. Amazing! Amazing job from Alcadzia here, bro. The comps, the execution, everything. Yes! Okay, Sarah Lee, I'll admit, I really did enjoy that. I really did enjoy that a lot. So freaking well done. Ah, satisfying as all get out to see that. Well done. The rotations, when they took angles, the layering, that counter comp stuff, just beautiful, man. TM just looked lost. You know, like they got hit with the uppercut and they weren't ready for it. See, this is what TM was trying to do on Oasis. Come out with a weird counter comp that they've not had reps on and play it well. The problem is that TM forgot the last step. You know, they just don't have the reps on the characters. That's where player flexibility can really, really be useful. It was just really good, man. They just did such a good job with like the cooldown trades on main when there weren't angles, and then as soon as the map opened up and they were struggling to retake, they opened up flanks, and they used their characters' kits remarkably well. That's just high-level team play, and I want to clarify, that's freaking hard to do. That is hard frickin' to do. Looks way easier than it actually is. That's good team play right there. I think there's a cash price. I guess it was. Yeah, it's good. It's freaking amazing. Even like the Symmetra swap on third, the Mei angle on breaking third, the layering, throwing all of your ultimates to full cap second as fast, just to not. I mean, it's just good. They played the map really well strategically. Do you think this will work against Korea? I don't know. I mean, I don't think that they would play this versus Korea. No, this was a very clear anti-Ramatra Symmetra comp. And unless Korea plays Ramatra Symmetra, they would not play this composition. Which is what makes it even more impressive, because this is probably something that they don't have like a... I mean, they probably have decent amount of reps on it, maybe. And they are playing relatively comfort characters, but this is not the meta comp on... This is a complete counter comp thing. With the Mei Bastion Orisa is what I'm talking about. I wonder if they've even played that versus TM, or whether that was a surprise.
I mean, what do you even ban here? If you're...
Because I think what Twisted Minds would have to do is they'd have to... you'd have to Arisamir. You'd have to Arisamir and just go... You can run the Arisamir with, like, Symmetra, whatever. Mei or something. How do you do with Mei's tank? Just hold shield, avoid her walls. It's just hard to do so on Circuit Royale when you're Ramatra and you're slow and you're on Circuit Royale and you're on Circuit Royale. Hello, Lakshmi. What's up, mate? So that was just a really weird play call from Alcadze that was executed to perfection. Yeah, you could beat that with, honestly, you could just freaking beat that with your own Orisa with like Mei Sojourn. A Mei Sojourn eats that for lunch, or Mei Freya, right? Like, if Quartz had longer than 2 seconds to do anything, they would have won that. But they just didn't, because they were running Ram Sim. I haven't, Pickle Rick. On Tuesday, we took a look at the new map in detail. But yeah. You can look at a lot of the pugs that we did. We did a lot of pugs and map exploration. King's Row. TM bans Mei? Sure. That might be more of a DPS protect, but yeah, if you're going to see Mei here, it's going to be from Checkmate. And Kadzia bans BAP. Ooh. Landon's like, yeah, frick you. I can play whatever the frick I want. This could just... Honestly, guys, we could see D.Va carry Lucio here, maybe. Maybe for first point. I don't know what Kadzia plays. I've not seen a lot of Ziad, but... We could see some like weird hybrid dive stuff on first point. I'm curious. Well, there's the Kiri Lucio Sojourn. Oh, they're on defense. I'm dumb. So they probably wouldn't play the Ramatra, the D.Va on defense. There's your Juno Brig. BAP gets banned. Pull out the Juno. King's Row is an overrated map. But first point professional King's Row play is never not entertaining to me. I just love watching first point King's Row and professional play. Hey, it's just such a fun point to watch because you never really can predict what you're going to see. Nice. He got it?
Yes. The little baby division was so stinking cute.
That's funny.
And Chris literally picked Amber up with it. Oh,
that's funny. Good for her. Yeah, simple stuff are going to swap, right? Well, I mean, you could get away with a lot of weird crap in first point. You know, you could teleport your on up here. Yeah. This is okay. You can get away with this. It's like the Hanzo pick, you know, same kind of logic that you see a lot of times here. They need more angles, man. They need more angles. There it is. But that needs to be supported. The Lucio's speeding the Ram out, but there it is. Okay. I was waiting for the angle there. Okay, finally we're retaking map control there. I felt like Alcadze kind of got frozen there by the Ana pick and didn't really know what to do, and then now we're finally retaking some space. Because KSA is going to, or Ziad's going to get his teeth kicked in if his DPS and supports aren't controlling space here. You have freaking speed boosted Ramatra, Sojourn, Sim, and then anti-nade and sleep dart. Yikes. Yeah, so they're trying to put a lot of pressure on KSAA, but that doesn't mean a whole lot when one team has nade and sleep and the other doesn't. I don't really like how OWCS is playing this. They need to wait for the next teleport and retake space. They do. They do. They do. Ram stays with Lucio. Lucio stays with Ram. Off angle for the Sojourn. That's what we were looking for. So what I'm noticing is OWCS kind of does like the whole... They use the whole Symmetra for like burst angles, right? Like they don't start on the angle. They kind of take the main trade, back up, and then send their DPS on an angle with teleport. It's a cool idea. Sim is meta now? No. There's not a single hero that's hard meta right now, in my opinion. Kitsune, can they catch it with Nano? They do catch it with Nano. They catch the Symmetra on the angle, but she's got beat and they run it over. That's where beats OP is when you're not able to space things out. The only way TM can win that is by spacing and rotating off on high grounds more. Even Speedring's not going to disengage that there. That's just poor layering from TM and poor setup for the ult fight. And again, OWCS layers it well.
Couldn't have dropped any faster. I mean, just get absolutely ran through there by OWCS. Now
this is Twisted Mind's fight to lose though. So this should be the one. You need to set yourself up for success. OWCS knows that. They're trying to stuff. Sim for Sim. Ram for that. Nade hits. Suzu's used. They're trying to stuff. KSA getting angled on. Still no space for TM. We're probably going to see a TP retake high ground. They're waiting for it. They're waiting for it. They're waiting for it. They're waiting for it. There it is. Retake the angle. Sojourn ult's used. He's pincered around behind, but the shots are done, and the damage is done. That might have even been a cleave collat there from Quartz. Yeah, good stuff. Now, I will say, OWCS' composition just gets stronger in second point here. There just isn't as much space for Ana here when you're shoved into a locker, so we'll see. Teleport on the angle. Sim. She's not getting focused at... Oh, Quartz! That's what TM needs. And this is crucial too, because you get your Ana out of the choke. It's the weakest part of the map for her. So she can kind of rotate off, maybe even to staircase here. Let's see where they put her. Obviously, you got to be careful of teleport is the only problem. Yep. Kitsune on the flank. Hold the high ground. Can they catch anybody? Nano's used defensively. And they catch it. They nano the sim and they catch the engage. Well done, Simple. The question is, are the trades going to go their way? Because as things get messy... Yeah, okay, they're good. Good. Well done by TM there. Good reaction there. Well done.
I think the Ana versus Kiriko dichotomy over the course of this map is going to be something you want to look at very closely. Landon, incredible.
This is where Ana's her strongest, but it's also where Twisted Minds has the smallest ult. Well, they don't have the smallest ult bank by any means, no. Simple needs to get off of cart. Simple needs to go top. One of the classic Symmetra tricks when you're playing versus Symmetra that Simple needs to utilize is hiding. So you go out, you can see my mouse up the top left here, you hide in that room and you wait until the trade happens, and then you pop out and go for your burst value. So you don't show where you are until it's too late. You kind of see what I'm saying? Now, maybe OWCS can't do a teleport play because they have to worry about payload capturing, but a little fun fact. Layering. Quartz needs to live for his ultimate. He should... Yeah, no, they're cooked. No, they're not cooked. Massive nade, massive sleep. The Ana value once again comes in spades. You could ult this. Just use the ult, mate. You just do... Oh, no, he misses the jump because of the perk. Simple is destroying. Beautiful job. When you say layering, you're referring to the timing and offsetting you're using. Yes, it's the offsetting of ultimates. You use one, then they use one to respond, then you use one, and they use one to respond. But a lot of people forget that that's how ultimates work, or they get a little bit sloppy with it, and they get surprised. Even at the professional, it's very hard to layer perfectly. Full flip of the map. They're looking for Sojourn. They connect the Sojourn. Anna has to use her defensive nano to keep herself alive, but the nano doesn't connect onto Symmetra, it connects onto Ram. So it's not a bad nano target, it's just not going to be a little bit harder to connect with people due to Ram's range. He lives for shield, he's pressuring Tank, Tank is traded, Kitsune is used, Nano's used, and the trade is once again going in TM's favor. Simple's not hiding here, he's just tanking these engages. It's harder to hide here.
I was talking about before, right, where it looks like they're just kind of constantly just throwing their bodies at the objective.
Yep, no problem. There's the teleport. It's not a... Yeah, I mean, they're going to clear top with it. Problem is that off angle from Ana on the left side is just really scary. Really, really well played. Suffering. They need to live for beat. They will live for beat. Don't Ajax Kellex. He does not Ajax. Quartz is one. Quartz is isolated. Quartz is dead. They're able to connect. Hey, Poke. Big fight retake for Alcadzi. Gives them time to reset. Gives them time to retake some space.
And it feels like that Twisted Minds, Mitch. They've actually had a pretty good offense, but you look at the clock, and we're below a minute. I think it's really just that first point defense there from Alcadzia, because the second part of the map was all Twisted Minds.
Juno response to Sojourn. Juno Sim walls traded. Kitsune's stack. Alcadze needs a kill now. They get it. Not the end of the world if you're TM here. If you can get a trade or disengage, you're going to be okay. They're looking for the Ana. They can't find her. No! He's no! Oh no! They needed to not get traded there. That's so unfortunate. KSA needs the trade now. They get the trade on Landon. Okay, that's fine. We're good. We're so good. We're so back. Simple dies though. Simple's gonna need to go to Lucio. Vortex hits. Ventures burrow forced. Lucio's in trouble here. Turret's broken. Venture drills out. Venture gets the trade. Venture does... Yeah! Oh my gosh! 10 HP! Simple's back on Lucio. Ram ult on point. Overload retinas activated. But they're down 2. Down 3. And Alcadz is going to hold this, guys. Wow. Big stop. Big stop. Twisted Minds comp was fine. They executed it, all things considered. They just muffed it up at a couple of crucial moments. That Nano Jack sucks. Simple getting traded there at the end sucks. Juno getting traded there to the Venture at 10 HP. You just can't do that, you know? Like, that just... It's criminal. Oh, man. Now, this is the real question. What are Alcadzia going to play on attack? I don't know. I honestly have no idea. We could see something pretty fun. Twisted Minds, I'm expecting a little bit more traditional. Probably more of like the Ramatra Ana stuff that we were seeing. Maybe with like a double flex backline, probably. Oh, no. Okay, so they're going to go Kyrie Lucio in defense. But yeah, Ramatra, Sojourn, Sim, not a huge surprise there. Are we going to see a mirror? They're playing on live, to my knowledge, yes. Hey, Amari. Bunny. Amari. Good girl. My Amari, I say, my cat is lying upside down, legs straight up in the air.
This is a map that's been a good one for Twisted Minds, bit of a home ground in many ways.
Yep, we're going to see a mirror. All right. It's all about those rotations. Where can you set up your Sojourn without compromising your survivability here? It's not as simple as just TP to the angle, right? Because Ram punishes rotations with Vortex and punches really hard. TM chunks it. If TM's going to win, it's going to be off of this. You're pulled into a Ram mirror, UB on Sim, Quartz on Sojourn, Funny Aster Lucio. I mean, this is your strong point right here in this particular mirror. You know, Alcadzia are really good on those characters as well, but I would give TM the edge on most of those characters. At the very least, it's the closest the gap's going to be hero pool-wise. Clearing their rotation. Clear the angle. KSA is low. Vortex traded. Blocks traded. Suzu's traded. Sim beamed up. Quartz gets landed. On the trade. On the angle. Mechanics are king here. Lebda gets to trade on Yubi, and that's pretty nice here, but ultimately, of all the characters to trade, it doesn't really matter in this comp because you're just going to get speed boost and teleport, and Ziad's staggered an extra 3 seconds. Alcadzia asking themselves, is this where we want to take this fight here? Is this the trade that we want? I agree with you, Saralee. It might be that the D.Va, unironically, is just a little bit too challenging to play. If you do play the D.Va, I think you have to commit to the double flex, though, and that's maybe something that Alcadzia just doesn't have the pool for. Maybe you don't have to commit the double flex, but that's my first response, is I would want, like, Bap Kiri or something, or Ana Kiri. There's the Vortex on the trade. Kitsune is layered. Kitsune is layered. Quartz on the angle. Again, gets a Helix. This is kind of a consistent theme we're noting here. Ramatra is committed as well. This is Alcadzia's moment. If you're going to swap, it has to be now. They get one trade once again onto Symmetra. It just doesn't matter. And they didn't even win the ult trade here, right? That's 3 for 3. They're going to keep going. Vortex used. Ram's shield. Teleport to high ground. There's an opportunity here without Symmetra. She just used teleport to go back to point. There's a window of vulnerability. Simwall is used on point. Block is used. They're taking the cooldown trade. Yubi's going to be using Simwall now. No, he doesn't. They're going to open with Ram instead. They're going to wait the Simwall out and try to use it a little bit later. They're getting greedy. There's the teleport. Angle's taken. They're all the way around behind. Now the Simwall, right, Yubi? There it is. High ground for Lebda. Where's Quartz? Shot on Astro. Quartz is spotted. They're going to beat layer on top, and it gets isolated from the beat. He's able to take him out. The rotation gets lost in the sauce, and Alcadzia... Wait, no, they're getting traded. What's happened? Oh, no. What happened? Lebda gets simple. All those rotations to isolate Quartz away from the beat, and it doesn't matter. They're going to go Pharmacy. I love that. I actually like that. Go. You gotta go. There's a window of vulnerability here. Kitsune is available for both sides. Good conk into the Kitsune. That's a window of vulnerability. They did it. Come on. Can they live? Can they stabilize? I guess we're going for Alcadzia now. I don't know why I'm going for the 2-0 team, but yeah. Yubi beamed up, catches Lebda. I'm not really sure where. Mercy movement like crazy right now. That's Suzu going to be used. Landon's isolated. Resurrect's coming out. Zia's going to be punished for it. Oh, no. That just isn't enough. The initial pick, Twisted Minds, is constantly winning. They get the initial pick, Alcadzia, but too many cooldowns, too many resources, I assume, used for those trades. And this is last fight territory. Touch is going to be hard here. You don't even have a speed boost for your Ramatra, so I don't even know who's going to touch. Far's going to have to die for the touch here. Goes all the way in. That's going to tank for the Ramatra. He actually lives. He does not live. Twisted Minds is holding this. And as predicted, TM's only advantage in the matchup being the raw Ram Sojourn Sim mirror goes TM's favor. And Alcadzia, their hubris, maybe a little bit of hubris there, punished. A little too confident in the mirror versus definitely TM's most favorable matchup. Yeah, they punish every single cooldown trade. KSA makes every rotation painful and just does not take too much damage. Ramir's not very fun to watch. Whoops. I just don't think Ramir's a fun to watch for the reason that we just saw. There's just not a lot of layering with the cooldowns that's very interesting. There's almost no mechanical performance at all. It's not that interesting. And there's not a lot of movement either. So I clarified when I talked about it. When I say, I'm pretty sure I talked about why I don't. Really well played by TM. Alcadzia, I don't think should have taken that mirror. But I don't think Alcadzia played it poorly. TM just played it really well. Credit goes where credit goes. Is due. Thanks, man. Yes. So I was saying thank you. You were here so early. I was not expecting that. Like, you were done an hour earlier than I thought. Yeah. Ooh. Did she finally notice you stealing her shirt? The first thing she noticed. Yeah, frick you, buddy. All right, thanks, man. Good map. Listen, if we're gonna have to watch Ram mirrors, at least it have some interesting rotations, like Sarah Lee was saying with the Symmetra and stuff. It definitely makes it more interesting, but it still is Ram mirror. Last season with Tio was so off. What do you mean? This is what plays in my head when I wear my wife's shirts. What do you think OWCS should have done differently in King's Row? I just don't think they should have taken the mirror, you know? I think they decided that too late. Like I'm telling you, if we sat there and reviewed it, I could definitely find some mistakes there, of course. But I don't think that they played it poorly. I just think TM played it really, really well, and that's like their absolute peak of strength is in that particular composition. I don't think the execution was bad from TM from OWCS from the eye check necessarily. It's just don't take the freaking mirror, you know? I mean, again, I'm not saying there weren't major mistakes there. Of course there were, but I didn't immediately see them, which probably tells me that they weren't immediately horrific. Just don't take TM and a freaking Ram Sojourn Sim mirror if you can avoid it. Which, to be fair, if you guys have noticed, they've avoided it or banned it. Oh, Queen, you're getting healthy. You're not getting old. You're getting healthy. You're fixing your sleep schedule. I respect that. What brand of guitar that is a Fender Stratocaster. I saved up when I was 16 years old for like a full year for that sucker. How should Cassie be reworked? I just think more his utility. I think beyond that, I think it's fine. His ultimate is too much character. I think they've done a really good job with it. His weapon's fine. I think if they spent less of his time in Fan the Hammer and found more ways to utilize his kit a little bit more, which, to be fair, I don't have a lot of great suggestions, but... What is Calix's job when sim wall comes up? Try to deny the push off of the sim wall onto whatever targets that you can, whether that's Ramattra or Symmetra. A lot of sim walls value is people that have proximity being able to close that proximity and abuse the shield. But if you can just disengage or buy some space, then it's pretty good. Hate Fan the Hammer? Yeah. I think Fan the Hammer is one of those things of like hero fantasy, whatever, that just ends up just being abused. Damage reduction on roll is more of an issue than Hinder Nade? Yeah, it could be. It's definitely going to affect a Genji a lot more. Because you have deflect. Bronze Spilo. Thank you for that. Here. Here.
We don't have to play Runasapi? And they're like, no, there's another.
OWCS ban Sim. Shocker there. You have the hero flexibility more so than Yubi, which means is Psycho on TM? This might be a Psycho sub in. And then they ban Diva. This probably means Orisa mirrors. Probably Orisa mirrors would be my guess. Okay, so this is probably Psycho sub in, Orisa mirrors, maybe with Mei Sojourn. Maybe Genji Sojourn. I'm not sure. Probably Kiriko Lucio. Any prediction who wins this? Probably OWCS, yeah. I don't think it's like a super hot take. Wow, Psycho is not subbed in. They're going to put Yubi on Tracer, and we're going to see... I mean, I guess Tracer just got recently buffed, so yeah. No Orisa, though, is crazy. These guys know it, I guess. No way we see Ziat Ball. Really? Okay, there's the Orisa. And there's the ram. Okay, I was like, so like, wow, I'm wrong. Well, look at, no, I'm right. And I hate it. Ay, ay, ay. KS is going to run the Ramatra, but he has speed ring here, so he might be okay. And if they heavily support the angle, it might work out. Yeah, Checkmate needs help. Checkmate needs help. Checkmate needs help. Yubi did good in Tracer recently? Good to know.
Where like Sim would be gone. This is where Psycho would come in and play, right? The last 2 weeks or so, though, they've gone back.
That's it. Wow, Checkmate just goes right to the back line, man. He just gets all that space for free.
Like this, Yubi even comes up with that first pick. They're gonna still ride with him.
All right, not too shabby a starting for Twisted Minds.
Quartz just honestly just chunking right now. I guarantee you half of that was just body shots from Quartz onto Tracers and stuff. I don't think OWCS should swap. I don't really think there's anything else to swap to. Just do better, you know? I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see any swaps. We might just see this matchup for the rest of the map. They're trying to cheat backline here. I don't like that. I don't think you have to.
You were up late with Nate and Tim last night.
Oh yeah, I didn't get that knife though, did I? Didn't get that knife.
No.
Tough.
Okay, so they don't even really kind of get it past that choke.
They're just doing like Lucio Tracer hit squads, basically. Nice, Yubi. Okay. That was a good trade.
Final corner, right, where you're kind of like pushing over towards that high ground. They don't make any progress there.
What was that? Tracer butt. Okay. Am I staying around for NA afterwards? Maybe like one game. I generally don't stay around for all of NA.
Winning a fight on the low ground and then getting this extra meterage.
Yeah, Checkmate is hit squatting. He's just basically cheating without a lot of support, case in point, but it's really dangerous. If they mark that angle with Curie Tracer a lot, you can absolutely protect your Juno from that kind of crap. So it's going to really rely a lot off of Kelex's ability to support his Tracer versus the Curie Tracer. Games have been fine so far, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Force the block. There's your Kitsune. This is why I just freaking Orisa is just... Oh, almost. Simple didn't have Kitsune yet either. Ooh, they're going to stagger. They're going to stagger a little bit. I think he missed wave respawn. Yeah, he did. So I don't know if they're going to get lead, but they're going to get awful close. They're going to force Kitsune, and then do they just run right past it with beat? It looks like that's what they want to do. Yeah, they're going to run right past it with beat, and they're going to connect with Astro. Frick, man. Yubi catches Landon on the transition, though. Like, if you're going to cheat like that, it's... You lose something for cheating. I mean, we've seen OWCS cheat a lot on King's Row and lose every single fight that they cheated on. I don't think cheating was bad there, but you do need to kind of press and retake your angle. So they got lead, but Twisted Minds is not unhappy with that result. Woo! Thank you for that sub screen. Checkmate. I mean, just checkmate. The Twisted Minds is, or OWCS is taking a really risky strategy. They are basically cheating every time. Like, basically cheating, I mean, as in grouping up with Tank and running it down main with their speed boost. And letting Checkmate off angle basically by himself. So they're not, like, they don't, it's not that they don't have an off angle. It's just not supported at all. So Checkmate is consistently running into a 2v1 every time. Landon is crazy. Celeb is going to go Cass, which is okay, I guess. It's probably because of the Sojourn swap from Quartz. And the Sojourn swap is interesting as well. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like, there's no support for this guy, like, ever. Yubi, wow, okay. That's a mistake. That's a mistake. Ouch, 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 ouch. The thing is, it's like, the weakness of the Lucio in this map is that it is a lot harder to help your Tracer in this particular section of the map, thank you, because it is a lot more open, and Tracer Lucio is just going to lose to Curie Lucio in that space. Is Rhea still here? Is Rhea still here in chat? This is exactly the map we talked about, where like Lucio Tracer loses to Curie Tracer here, so it's kind of honestly awkward. Kitsune? Kitsune, simple and high ground. Yeah, exactly. It's just that's the downside of having Calyx here, you know, and Twisted Mind. This is why Twisted Minds is getting away with Juno Kiri. Wait, there's no way KSA lives there. That's crazy. Oh my gosh, Quartz. Oh, you're Luke, you're here, okay. Dude, TM is playing this one really well. Oh. Like, they're 2v1ing every angle with Curie Tracer, keeping Checkmate shoved into the locker, and KSAA is just not losing tank trades, even though he has one fewer support resource. I think this is just not very well played by Alcadzia, but honestly, TM is doing a really good job with their space control. Like, the only fights that Twisted Minds are winning, or Alcadzia winning, is when Checkmate somehow miraculously pulls off a flank that's unexpected and is able to keep people's attention without support. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh, that's crazy from Ziad right there. And Checkmate's still doing some serious work on backline, again, by himself. Beat is used, though, so that's a little ugly. And KSA is going to reset that with wall, or with ult. Checkmate gets marked, gets killed. It's just not, like, there just is no support. I'm sorry, like, I just don't think Calyx can do enough on tank trades here. If there's any opportunity to harass and disrupt elsewhere, Calyx existing is not good enough here. You can't just exist and do things now. Because you just booping Ram around just doesn't freaking matter. Like, you just... The Orisa's fine. You just have... Orisa wins those tank trades. But here we go again. Checkmate is by himself. Thank you very much. And it's just the same crap. This one, as opposed to the previous round, just feels like more like an execution diff. Like, TM is playing that one really well, of course. But Calyx is just legitimately white noise this entire game.
I mean, Yubi and Quartz have just turned up here on Colosseo. I just wonder, like, why
I know it's really hard versus Tracer, Sojourn, whatever. I agree, but, like, oh, man, like, Alcadzia has to take some risks with what they're doing. Like, here we go again. Another 2v1 from Checkmate. Somehow forces Suzu by himself again. There's teleport. There's Orisa ult. Quartz just still has sightlines, and there it is. There's Vortex plus Sojourn in it. Yeah, it's just it's Twisted Minds. It's just kind of just dunking on them right now. Lucio can absolutely assist with tanks, but my point being is that we're devoting 2 resources to our Orisa. 2 heal resources to our Orisa, who is not killing Ramatra. Orisa does not kill Ramatra. She takes a favorable cooldown trait with Ramatra, because she can javelin and so on. She doesn't kill Ramatra. So KSA just has to live and wait. And eventually Quartz, Yubi, because they're getting more support, will do fine. Like, look at this. KSA is going to run in. He's going to block. And then he's going to refresh his block. And then he's going to absorb. And then he's going to block some more. And the only way they win this is because Lebda catches Yubi. Look at KSA's HP pool. He hasn't been healed since, like, It's a Wonderful Life came out. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he just lives. That's it. Ram is really freaking good at just living a long time. So you can't force a bad resource trade like you can. Like, look at this. You can just continually vomit attention to him, and it just doesn't matter. You can have Lucio with tank. You can have Kiri with tank. You can't put both on your tank into a Ramatra. He'll just outlive it. That was working earlier when we saw, like, Ana Kiri, where there's, like, Sleep Dart and Nade. You can actually kill a Ram. Juno layered. Kitsune. Juno. Beats used. Lebda's run down. Vortex connects. Punches connect. Mike Tyson. Yeah, Alcadzia's cooked. They're going to have to find a way to open up the map more or something, or because this is just a disaster class.
Ziad will try and touch. He can, sure, but has to play from around that pillar, and eventually he needs to face the music.
Ziad's gonna get his fortify forest. High noon's used, but this is all on checkmate right now. This is all on checkmate. But he doesn't have any space. I mean, that's a really good clip, but it doesn't matter. Quartz, rip it. Quartz, rip it. And that's it. Freaking G's. There's no room for Zen here. Not right now, no. Not with how powerful speed boost and Brawl tanks are, because they could just get sped and run you down. Masterclass and Disaster Class. Well played. The previous one was TM playing well and Alkazi trying to, but TM just plays it better. This one felt like a little bit of both. This one felt like a little bit of both. I just don't think Alkazi knew how to play this at all. Yeah, UB played very well again. Yep. There were more resources going into UB than checkmate, but he did a lot with those resources, to be fair.
Not everybody has Simple, one of the most unreal players of this era of Overwatch that we've sort of seen. And it was quite a problem for checkmate to deal with at the start of the game, and it's forced Labster to go off the Sojourn to switch to Cassie, which obviously makes him a little bit susceptible there to Quartz, who's also a big problem. And so while Cats here are constantly dithering,
I mean,
you know, what is that
I don't know.
hit scan pick supposed to be for them? How do they set Ziad up for success? Because on maps in the past, we've seen Ziad have, you know, a good time against Ramatra, especially when he has May to work with. But this is just not
the decision is to utilize your shorter range support and melee range, right? Harass Tracer, harass backline. But they just didn't do that. They just kind of sat there, you know? And Kellex is basically playing Dead by Daylight. So if you're going to die, you might as well do something, you know? It's just a Kellex hero pool problem.
So it'll be Alkazia's pick, the pick already in New Junk City.
I don't know, Dog Meat. I don't know.
Here in EMEA. And just trying to look through some of the bans, right? Alkazia, they banned Sim, they banned BAP. If you're Alkazia, would you ban Tracer?
No. No. No, you would not.
Sim game? Because UB also like
no, checkmate's a better Tracer than UB. No. The problem was the double flex. The problem was the double flex. That's the problem. They didn't know how to play with Colosseo, and that's all Kellex can play here. Tracer's not a problem.
It might be a direction that Twisted Minds still want to go in. So if you try and ban Tracer, you might be playing into TM's wheelhouse. They just might be planning on playing the Sim now that she's on the table once again.
As bad as that was, you do not want Symmetra Sojourn. You do not want Symmetra Sojourn. That's worse.
Alkazia's already banned Ram, right?
I think you ban Juno. Yeah, if Juno hasn't been banned yet, yes, you ban Juno. Yes.
I guess if I'm Alkazia, would they ban Orisa on the other side? Enforce a Ram mirror? But I think if you're also Twisted Minds, you've proven that you can beat their Orisa with the Ramatra. So
yeah, I think you can play Brave. But you gotta get off this double flex stuff. There's two things that TM can do. Double flex and Sim Sojourn. So you need to try to stop that from happening.
okay, so this is interesting. So the bans here
Kind of poke. Since her fall off changed, her ranged impact's a lot worse, but she's still okay. Her ult charge thing is a massive nerf, though, yeah.
This is really good for like diva comps, right? Diva comps obviously accept, you know, when the break is not.
So they picked New Junk, which is basically anti-double flex because you have to play some sort of speed in this map. And then they banned Brigitte, which means that they're gonna have to run Juno. They're gonna have to run double flex here, but it's gonna be really bad. This is a good ban from Alkazia. They're also protecting Lucio. TM bans Junker Queen because I guess they just don't really care what they play. I think Junker Queen's just a meme ban. Yeah, this is good for Alkazia. You're gonna force Symmetra Sojourn but you're going to force Symmetra Sojourn, and you're going to force Kiri Lucio here. So this will be almost certainly Kiriko Lucio and Sim Sojourn, which is kind of a bummer. But, man, there really isn't any way of working around it. So this is just going to be Sim Sojourn, I think, again. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe they've got a pocket pick to come out here, but we're probably just going to see the same freaking mirror. Diva, maybe. I mean, Diva. I mean, this map's a little bit better than Diva than some of the other ones we've seen, but frick, man, this is gonna be tough.
Every single time it was like a Kiri, no, it was a Juno Ana in that series, but still, I think it's too vulnerable. You have to.
No, new map is not being played, to my knowledge.
I like this decision from TM. Drop the Juno, play the Lucio with the Sim, and then have a back.
Diva just has to play hard angles, catch, disengage, teleport away. There you go. Open up your off angles. Devolved fights, Diva's really freaking good compared to Ram. More messy, a little bit of high ground. This point's going to be hard, though. You're just going to have to play really patiently. There's the high ground. There it is. There's the hit squad. And that's the other weak point about the comp. Is not just about the Diva. It's also about the Kiriko versus the Bap. Bap is a slow son of a gun. Kiriko is not.
Just getting everybody kind of topped up. You see where Funny Astro's even pushed back to. He's not even in a great spot.
Ouch. Getting DMEC there kind of sucks.
Losing his mech, but it does not matter as much because Alcatia will end up winning the fight. And yeah,
are they going to speed him back to spawn?
Simple's not even able to react, right?
That seems questionable. I mean, I get it, but I don't know, Chad. That seems like such a sacrifice. I mean, I don't know if you get it. Oh gosh, that sucks. I mean, it's worth a try, I guess, but lesson learned, that's not good. I mean, you're going to probably lose your Diva, but there's like a 50-60% chance you don't, and you also don't just lose point for that. Oh, Kitsune. Sojourn. Okay, so they're going to take the top of Sojourn. Ah! Simwall's used to counter Bap window. Nice, Lebda. Okay, really good stuff. A little bit of a commitment is the only problem, though. That's a 3-for-1 from Alcadzia. They need to kind of get something here.
I think as well, Mitch, what you see there too is like the TPs from both sides. Simple drops his amp matrix, and then it's a really nice.
Yeah, it was a good try, but yeah, absolutely not worth. You probably have to play like really patient, but you lose more space without the with the Baby Diva or without the Baby Diva. Beat. Can they kite it? Can they disengage it? Alcadzia needs to live. That's 2 for 1. They don't really want to walk outside. Yeah, this is good. This is good from Alcadzia. Let them flip the point, flip the map, whatever. This is so nice. They're gonna flip. Flippity flip. They're causing chaos. There's a window here. That's where the Diva's useful here. Oh no, she doesn't have perk. Ah, she got it anyway. Ha! There's no way. Really nice flips there from Alcadzia. That's the advantage of the Diva. The flip, the off angles, the matrix, the rotations. It's like Symmetra on crack, basically.
Making a huge play. KSA didn't really have many options to go for. As Quartz will go to
Calyx, don't chase.
They still want to try and keep this first point alive. Nobody able to get a second touch, so first point will go down.
Nice, Alcadzia. That's a good one. That's probably one of your toughest. Yeah, it's definitely not an easy one. Kiriko is big here. Kitsune is probably the most powerful ultimate in this mirror here. Beat might be more powerful in this mirror, but Kiriko is certainly up there. And they're trying to wait for Bap window here, but they got to be really careful. There's a teleport. The Kitsune. KSA is getting murked. Bap window's used. They should be able to keep him up under the Bap window. Oh no, he fat fingered his ult. He fat fingered his ult. He just used his ult, chat. It's not the end of the world. It's one of the weaker ults, but he just used it on accident. I don't think he needed the armor reset. There's the angle. There's Lamp. There's the teleport. They're gonna flip. They're gonna leave the Sojourn behind. Beat engage. KSA is getting off-angled, and you can't beat omnidirectionally. The teleport all the way out, which is honestly a sick engage. If they get the flip, there's the diva. There's the diva. There's the assassin, right? If that's a ram mirror, they flip the map, they give them the point, and then Twisted Minds re-engages with beat. Ziad is too smart. Honestly, guys, dude, this would be one of the few times we're looking at, like, it's so hard with the symmetric, so it's kind of weird. But, like, this is like the ranked diva. Flat freaking map on Brawl, and Ziad's still finding a way to make it work. Simwall for Simwall. This is... Oh, they go early! They caught them in the open space. They were not expecting the fight to happen. If they can keep them up, that's like really clean fight win.
Matt, this is what we saw in map 1 and 2 from OWCS, right? They're technically on the defense, but they...
All right, what do they do? What do they do? This is a really good spot to fight as Diva too. Again, more angles, more flanks. How good is Diva right now in this minute? Yeah, they're gonna hit squad this. They're gonna take this space here. Cassidy swap. They flip the map. They get the touch. Back window's used. They're gonna Simwall on top of that. They're gonna Simwall on top of that. They're gonna Kitsune on top of this. They Kitsune. Astro needs to beat soon, but the Simwall makes it really complicated. He gets all 5, but the problem is that Kitsune... Okay, then Checkmate dies. I was gonna say the problem is that Kitsune lasts a lot longer than beat, but unfortunately they get murked. That was a little sloppy there from OWCS. They could have been a little bit more patient there. Even giving the flip there would have been okay.
They have it in that fight, and they use it a little bit later after the Matrix.
Yeah, it makes sense early. Okay, that was not a good play there from OWCS. They could have won that one.
Give Kellex an opportunity to get his beat here, and then just kind of come back and end up winning.
Nice retake from TM.
If that's something that they're able to do.
Okay. Ram ult. Ziad's gonna touch. Shield is used. Ziad's got to find a disengage here. High noon's used. They got plenty of time. Teleport. That's good for OWCS. There's an opportunity now to flip the map. Now you can flip the map. Flip the map. There. No, they didn't flip the map. There it is. Lamp is used. Ram ult hits, but the problem is that OWCS comp is a lot more mobile, and they actually get him. Kellex is caught. Ram for Lucio. Landon needs to desperately live. Turrets are used. Hitbox. Oh, the hit squad did the assassination. Ziad dies, but it's probably worth. Turrets on point, and they're gonna flip this, guys. They're gonna flip this. That's the advantage of using the Kiriko Diva. You get teleported on, but you can spread. Ram Bap can't spread. There's more punch to it, but it's a lot more high risk, high reward.
Mitch, you can't lose that fight if you're Twisted Minds. You get that kill on a Kellex early. They know sound barrier. You had the
Ziad's gonna get his mech back.
Dies really fast.
Ziad should have major perk now as well. I'm not seeing it. Maybe he's using heavy rockets. I would be surprised, but maybe it's okay versus the Ram. Sim gets the setup early. Checkmate is really low, though. Ziad's getting punched out. Multiple angles from both Kiriko and Sojourn, and even the turrets on this choke here. Really annoying. Bap window needs to be used. Sojourn ult's used. And they're going to disengage that, but KSA should die for that. They're going to have to lamp this guy or something. That hero is just dumb. That hero is just dumb. I'm sorry. Beat. Wait, why did they push that? That was in a hive mind right there from OWCS. We've seen somebody isolated. Let's run it right down mid without beat or anything. That was really poor from OWCS. That was such a strong start. And I think they were like frustrated that they didn't kill the Ram, and so they just felt like they had to kill something. That was really, really poor. Really good disengage from Twisted Minds. The split disengage, so if you push either one, the other one shoots you in the back, and now OWCS falls to the bait. Teleport into Simwall, maybe? Bap window, Simwall. Oh no, they just run it down. They're going to beat instead. Quartz is fricked. Every push is so much easier with the mobility of Diva if you can play it correctly. Man, this stuff is good. Really nice beat there. Really nice beat there. The teleport into the beat rush.
Matrix Deadeye that they just beat and and just barrel into. They do not care.
Simwall for Simwall. I mean, OWCS is in a good spot here, man. Like, defensive Simwall, Ram ult versus Diva ult, they're basically the same in value in this situation. Like, you're just gonna... This is gonna come down to the teleports and maybe Sojourn shots. Simwall for Simwall. They flip the defender's advantage. The boop is there. Ziad gets murked, but bombed is there. He has the overhealth. He should be fine. Simwall should break. Simwall breaks. Ram ult's used. The boop is there. Disengages the Ram ult. They might even flip the map here, giving up the space. It's on Twisted Minds to actually touch the point. OWCS can play all the angles that they want. They get the angles that they want. Ziad's low HP. Has to disengage. They trade that for the Lucio. Backline's under a lot of pressure. Soldier's 1 HP. Snipes it across the map. 99%. There's nothing left. Twisted Mind is absolutely screwed. OWCS, with the absolute circus of the double Symmetra, are able to pull it out and pull the match 3-2. There it is. This is why you don't mirror the Ram, man. Play your strengths, dude. Play your strengths. They still ended up on Sim Sojourn, but Zia just does so much on Diva, man. So much on Diva, and really, yeah, it's just good. They do look so much better. They really do. Yeah, the rotation, like Zia, it's just so good. Like, that is like the hardest situation to play Diva. I think it's by far the most demanding. You guys have probably played any Diva mains in chat that have played Flashpoint versus hard Brawl, like Ram. It's hard, man. Like it is so incredibly hard, and they play around it so well. So much rotations, angles, free picks. It's just incredible. Like, it's so frustrating to play Ramatra versus that, because you're like, what can I can't reach anything. You just can't reach anything, you know? Phenomenal. Zia deserves player of the match in my... Well, okay, let's think about it. What was the first map, guys? Why am I forgetting the first map? Oh, I don't know. It's a little bit of recency bias here. I honestly don't know who deserves player of the match. Yeah, do you see what I'm saying on the Colosseo? Why putting Kiri Lucio on Orisa in the Ram trade makes no sense. You're not going to kill him. All you can do is get him low and force more resources. Like, Orisa Kiri versus a Ramatra Kiri. Orisa Kiri wins that trade, but not fast. It takes a long time, right? You just take less damage as Orisa, right? They kept trying to like put a lot of more resources. It's like investing in a 401k or a mutual fund and like expecting to win big. You know, it's like, bro, that's not. It just was not well done. Checkmate, yeah, could be. I do think Checkmate played really well. I do not think he got sim gapped at all. I think his Mei stuff was solid. His Tracer honestly was pretty good in Colosseo, considering he had like literally zero help.
I'm here for it. Educate me, because quite frankly, early on this year,
maybe that's kind of a spicy take, but I like when they factor in even lost maps, just in terms of like their overall performance. I don't watch any Korea. It's just time zone too hard. I'm so glad for Checkmate, dude. I'm just so glad to see him kind of... We talked about this like last week or the week before, just to kind of see him pull back into relevance. He may be one of the most underrated players in professional Overwatch history, I think. Just because of how fast people forgot about how good he was and how consistent, and also how undervalued flexed DPS players can be. I'm not saying that he's like a top 5 DPS of all time at all or anything, but I do think he's underrated. I think he's just been really good for a long time. I don't know if that's a hot take or not, but I've always had a lot of respect for him. Like, for context, I would put him in my top 2 or 3 Western. I mean, he's Korean, but top 2 maybe. Him and Kevster, I'd almost value equally, almost, you know, like over like the last couple of years. I'd probably still give Kev the advantage, but yeah. No, Checkmate was on Florida Mayhem. He was really freaking good on Florida Mayhem. Really flexible. And then he kind of went quiet for a sec for a little bit, but I mean, yeah. Spark. Maybe. I don't remember. I don't remember. Also, Landon, another W for my boy Landon. Yeah, I believe you, Alexa. Dive is a lot more fun to watch for me anyway. You're probably thinking of Shy and Spark. Yeah, Shy was on Spark.
Now Alcatia is officially in the grand finals, awaiting their opponents. Could be another game.
Thanks for the sub, dude. Cheers, Devin.
Up once more through the lower bracket. For now, though, let's check in with one of our players for a winner's interview. I believe we have Landon standing by and joining us for just a second. It is Landon indeed. So
why does Landon look like he owns a truck
on the
and plays fantasy football?
Let's talk about how you guys got it done.
The frick?
Started off very, very dominant, but then somehow, some way, Twisted Minds managed to claw their way back into the series to make it competitive. What changes did you have to make once they started turning things around?
Every series we play against Twisted is always an absolute dogfight. I think maybe we got a little bit too excited after 2-0. Because I think we played good on Kings Row defense. I think like if we had calmed down, had a better plan, we could have for sure for sure full cap Kings Row. And Colosseo, we're just gonna look at and review. I got a little dude behind me. Checkmate wave. Give him a wave.
Well, and like you were mentioning that, getting kind of settled in, you were very confident getting those 2 maps back to back. Would you agree that you kind of just sat back a little bit in your chair and almost anticipated that you were just going to easily take that 3rd map? Or was it really just that the shift from Twisted Minds allowed you guys to have to reevaluate and say, okay, no, we just have to really fundamentally change a few things, and then once you cycle back to that Symmetra,
his mic has always been bad.
Twisted definitely changed their playstyle on their defense. Like they started playing with
insane
aggression, like playing super close, constantly flanking. I think it caught us by surprise. And in this kind of sim mirror, like ults are so important that if you snowball 1 or 2 fights, it's just kind of really difficult to recover.
Winning fights off of a Sojourn shot
because,
really sucks.
It seemed like the Symmetra was a big difference maker, but there was no Symmetra available on Colosseo. Like how did that kind of change your game on that 4th map after they had just won Kings Row?
We tried the sim mirror. We're running on the sim mirror, and in all honesty, this match is important, but it's not the most important match. So we kind of approached this match trying some new stuff, trying out different bands, trying different comps like you saw on map 1.
Bless you, Kyber.
Testing the waters a little bit, because I'm almost positive we're gonna rematch against Twisted in the finals, And so we wanted to just try some stuff out.
Yeah, and I mean, so far you've always managed to come out on top. Sometimes a bit squeaky bum time, but a win is a win in the very end, and you already secured your spot at the mid-season championship as well. So Landon, I'm gonna let you go, but not before letting you know that you are in fact our player of the match. So congratulations on the performance today. It's always a pleasure watching you pop off. But as I said, for now we're gonna let you go and prep for tomorrow's grand final. Thank you so much.
Nice, Landon.
Thank you.
I'm gonna message him real fast.
Got it. Why not, Why not change it up a little bit and see what works?
Deserved. Thanks, Kyber. I will enjoy your sense. All right, VP TM. This will be spicy, man. VP, I guess more so than almost any other team, is, I mean, what do you guys think? Probably the team that's going to be pulling out all stops, right? Whipping out some crazy crap. Probably be a lot more of a diverse match would be my expectation, but yeah, he does. He communicates in game with that mic. Or is that tomorrow? It's tomorrow, right? Frick, I don't know, guys. I'm so lost in the sauce. Oh, deserve player of the match. You don't deserve the extra sin. I'm just a very nice person. Okay, never mind. I guess that's it for EMEA is what I'm saying, right? They're going to lower finals, grand finals tomorrow, right? That makes more sense anyway. How to rate Psycho's Tracer? Nowadays, I don't know, but back in the day, it was really good, yeah. Top 3 or 4, I think, in the West. Up there with, like, Kev, you know, at least historically. Rocket was really good. I don't know how good he is now, but, like, yeah, really solid. One of the best European tracers, one of the best Western tracers, in my opinion. Okay, we're going to NA now? Nice. That makes sense, because we got 2 more, yeah. Top 2 EMEA and Tracer? Yeah, I'd agree. Up there, right behind Kev, yeah. Yeah, internet is kind of fixed. Like I said, it's kind of like more like it's more like it's fixed for now because it's like 5G. Yeah, it's kind of complicated. But it's at least temporarily. Wait, why is Overwatch still open? Whoops. But it's like temporarily fixed, maybe, kind of, sort of. So I'm gonna have to kind of like get a long-term fix and find out like whether what I'm doing is actually gonna work long-term next week. But yeah, does tomorrow's match just set up LAN placements? I believe so. It's is it Riyadh? Is it Saudi? Yeah. Yes, because the finals are in Sweden again. Because he hit rank 1 or champ 1 or whatever. Frick, I forgot to do predictions again, guys. Poopy. My bad. You went NA for good time zones? Yeah. Sadly, I'm not going to be able to make any of the lands this year. But I'm planning on doing TwitchCon next year. Or not TwitchCon, sorry, BlizzCon next year. So if any of you guys are planning for 2026, I'll be there with bells on. You get what I'm saying? No, I did forget. I actually did forget. I would have done it. I'll remind me for the next one. I'll do it next one. Thank you, Lukaku. We ended up not doing DPS Perks, Lukaku, because I don't know, man. Like, I feel like I have to give it my full focus. So it's going to be kind of delayed, frick. So I got your message, though. I really appreciate that. I will use that to educate my recommendations. Space Station or Nightmare? Oh, I have no idea. No idea. I honestly don't know. I really don't know. You think SSG? Wait, that was Pepper. Did you guys just see that? Wait, Pepper was just there. You were just on this stream briefly. No. On the official OWCS stream. Let me pull it up really fast. Very, very, very briefly. Let me see if I can go find it. Hang on. Yeah, it was like a highlight, like bum bum bum. You know. Here, I'll clip it. Pepper. I'm pretty sure it was you.
Watch this, tell me.
Pretty sure it was you.
Oh, let's see.
I think. Wait, was it? Or am I crazy? I might be crazy. I swear I saw an Ash cosplay. I think I'm actually clinically insane. Dude, I swear I saw it. Chat, am I missing something here? I swear I saw it.
Chat. What's he smoking?
It's not there.
Oh.
Oh no. Oh, wait, maybe it's like chopped off or something?
Wait, let's see.
Hang on. Dude, I saw the white hair out of the corner of my eye. It's gone.
Oh, you're sweet though. You're always looking for me.
Yeah, I thought.
You should message him and be like, Why am I not in that clip?
Wait, what? No.
What would you have seen?
I would have seen. I don't know, bro. Like,
That's crazy.
dang it, man. There's just Rich's face floating in the background. Never mind. Disregard. Dang it, man. This is who. This is where I thought I saw you right here. Looks just like her, honestly.
Me? Oh yeah, that looks just.
Freaking Rich, dude. That's hilarious. Wait, freaking Rich. It's like a Rorschach or whatever test. What do you guys see? I just see Rich Rad everywhere. Hey, Gavin.
Hi,
Dang it, man. All right, disregard.
no. You just love me, you see me everywhere.
No, it's more like a recurring nightmare. Never mind. Sigmund Spilo had a lot of similarities. Okay, guys, shut up. Because the feet? No. Guys, I got a pedicure yesterday, though. I did. I was given a pedicure. It's actually kind of fun, I'm not going to lie. What is the sealant? What did I get the sealant on the nails, too?
Oh, yeah.
What's it called?
Your cuticles were terrible.
My cuticles were apparently terrible. I don't know. Am I hearing melodies yet? I'm always hearing melodies. Bro, I literally wake up in the morning like once every 2 weeks and I think of I'm dreaming a melody and I have to record it and write it down. For years, that's been the case. I dream melodies. They just happen. I dream up video ideas. I have content ideas. I have like questions and stuff. I'm always like dreaming stuff, man. It's freaking, dude. My dreams are weird, man. I'm like my dreaming is usually like thinking of things. A minor music thing going on? Yeah, a little bit. I think Sigma's probably a lot more intelligent music-wise than I am, but sorry, pulling the spinning. Oh, Sarah Lee, what are you doing? I have a strange question today. Gavin, can you believe it? Sarah Lee has a strange question. What? No way. Sarah Lee. Hello, Taku Cat. Have you missed any games? Yeah, you missed the EMEA stuff. It was pretty hype, I will say. That image of Rich is what you see before the pearly gates, yeah. A Nording system? Imagine not knowing what a Nording system is. Nording system sounds like it sounds like atomic, or it's either like witchcraft or like deep science, like atomic. Honestly, what's the difference? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the frick are quarks? You know, go ahead, Grandma. Like, mix your little witch's brew and pull out the Ouija board. You know, quarks, my butt cheeks. You know what I'm saying? These guys are just making crap up at this point now. They can't even tell me what an atom looks like, much less what a quark is. Just witchcraft is what it is. You know, Big Atom, that's actually something that we should talk about, actually, is Big Atom, right? These guys are like, oh, everything's made out of atoms. What do they look like? Nobody knows. Who decides that an atom existed if you can't even see it? Nobody knows. And what they do is they use that and they infiltrate our science textbooks, and they say that, oh, it's so small that you can see it, and then they're just using it for an excuse. They're using it for an excuse. They're controlling the elements. It's just witchcraft is what it is. It's just straight up witchcraft. They're pretending that it's deep science. Yeah, right, buddy. Big Atom is the biggest witchcraft monopoly in the West ever, maybe. The Manosphere arc with the Science Knight arc? No. I'm not denying the science. I'm saying the science is actually witchcraft. It's a very, very big difference. Listen, I'm all for, like, you know, the imperial system is superior to the metric system. I mean, I'm a science... You know, I agree with science. You know what I'm saying? You know, stuff like that. Like, you know, all you need is vitamin D, and everything else is just kind of fluff. Burning meat is probably bad for you. You should be probably eating meat raw. Like, I'm all for the science. Big Atom. Am I baked? No, I'm not baked. I haven't done marijuana in like 20 minutes. People are gonna think I'm serious, bro. What are you scared? Are you scared of having your little science monopoly question? You're big Adam, aren't you? I knew it. I knew it. You guys are compromised. Big conspiracy. That's actually a true one. Yeah, big conspiracy is out there. All right, you guys ready for the conspiracy? Big conspiracy is the CIA plants that make a lot of like harebrained, like weed addicted, nutso manosphere people go for like crazy off the chart conspiracy theories so that you just downplay all the actually good conspiracy theories. You get what I'm saying? They have plants that just like whip up people like flat earthers, and so that then they actually hide the real conspiracies. You get what I'm saying? Now, what I define as like one of those schizo conspiracies versus a real conspiracy, that there's a very clear definition there. The ones that I believe in are legitimate. The ones that I don't believe in are the crazy, nutso ones, right? So, but yeah, there's conspiracy. They're conspiracy, exactly, big conspiracy. It's absolutely a real thing. I asked one of these conspiracy guys, "Are you big conspiracy?" And he looked at me funny, and I could tell. This is not going to help you beat the allegations? I don't give a frick, bro. I should hold on. Watch point's scary. How about just a Tracer moment where she just pulls out a raw fish and just starts chewing it to shreds? Just like guts and like head and just skin. Scales. They beat Gen G, no? Didn't TU beat Gen G? Is that how you think of Norwegians? No, I just said Nordic. That's a very broad. I would say that's probably a lot more. That's a very Finn thing to do. I would not say it's a Norwegian thing to do. Am I wrong? Maybe Iceland, but more Finnish. Yes, exactly, Sarah. Tracer color skin. Wait, actually, dude. How do you keep your glasses clean? Do you think he's gonna tell you?
Across the world, the strongest rose to the challenge. Well, there's the overclock. 3 kills for Lanta. They have fought for pride. For prestige. A blade for Jay Wu, and there's the kills that you
for pennies. Oh man, maybe that was funnier. Not as funny as I thought, but that's like an esports moment.
New stars will rise and champions.
Oh, Copper! He looks so good on this Winston right now.
Will fall. This is the Overwatch Champion Series.
Thanks. I thought it was pretty good.
Hello and welcome back. Zoe here.
Welcome back.
And by Johnny, and this is the second to last.
Thank you,
day
Kyber.
of OWCS Stage 2 playoffs action in our EMEA as well as NA region. Now, during the break, obviously I tried to follow along with the Battle of the Bots.
Thank you,
The
Gavin.
conversation in chat caught my attention, so I want to quickly get involved and set the record
no.
straight. He's like, what is this about? Don't worry, it's just... Okay, so
Chat, what
people
do you
in chat have been arguing about the origins of Vegemite and Marmite. And that's a heated discussion, and I just want to quickly like settle.
Are these guys
this one,
qualified to talk
Marmite
about
from
that?
The UK came first, then Vegemite from Australia came later by a few years.
This
because
is a
there
little
was
bit of cultural
ban on
appropriation going on
Marmite.
here.
That's right. During the World War I, there was a ban, so then the Australians had to make their own. And then I believe like 5 or 6 or 7 years later, Switzerland actually came out
Freaking-
with Cenovus.
freaking
They added,
colonizers, man.
vitamins into this yeast beer brewing byproduct in order to make it healthy. Because go Switzerland. So I'm a massive fan of Cenovus, Marmite, and Vegemite, and I'm also a massive fan of drops. So let's take a look at what we have
Today
for
on
you.
Knowledge is Power.
I'm also a fan of drops after
Something I need
talking
you to know.
about
If you're
Vegemite
interested
is
in,
crazy.
You know, culinary history from the 1900s, that's that. Also, if you're interested in drops, these are those. I love the whole W one. All-time favorite spray. It's a good one. It's a strong sense of signal.
Custa got
you know what I mean?
downgraded, and now they just run him over rampant.
Like, let's be real. Like, has anyone in Overwatch history been like, hold this? It's like, no. Like, no one holds S. Hold W. Like, it's just way more fun.
But maybe I want to strafe and like go left and right, you know, just or A and D, or Q, or what is it, Q and E in some configuration.
I mean,
that are
going
strafing,
sideways is second best.
It's the second best, but it's not the best. Maybe we have the sideways spray for the next batch. But
True
also,
story.
we
When
have
I
the
went to
opportunity
LA for the Blizzard Summit, they gave us all bags and bags of real gold coins stolen from real pirates. We all had to sign an NDA. I did not sign mine. They held me at gunpoint. I escaped with my bag of coins, and I'm here today.
You also get to potentially get some over.
I've not heard anything for the last day or two, so I assume I got away with it, but...
More free stuff, mind you. Free stuff is the best kind of stuff. And whilst we're giving you everything for free, our teams have to work.
I'm more of a Vitamina Vegemin kind of a person, to be honest with you, Taco Cat.
Their pocket monies, all the honors. If we're looking at our schedule, Johnny is just like mind blown by all the transitions. Today. It's okay, I'm here.
No, I thought for a second you said free stuff is always the best stuff, and I was like, what if you get free sushi? Like, probably not, right?
That is,
So-
I would definitely not take free sushi. I think
I
you
feel
should
like that
never-
treads the line of danger.
You're making me think
That is
here.
our PSA for the day. Free sushi. That's
Free
a
candy
no-no.
also. I feel
Free
like that's a
sushi.
little scary, you know.
That's,
Depends on who
something
hands it
else.
out, but
Yeah.
yes. That
Okay, you
one
are
is
safe? Yes, thank
contextual.
you.
Very important. Now we have nothing free for our teams. They have to play hard for all the stuff coming their way. Regular season is done and dusted. Playoffs is about to finish, and then we have teams in promotion relegation. We have a last chance qualifiers, all of which is leading up to the mid-season championship.
Sushi with
which-
Vegemite? Yes, maybe.
It's going to be one of those things again that we're so ready to finalize and see who's going to
Yeah,
be
it's
able to take
Riyadh.
that third and final slot here for this NA region, as we've already been able to lock.
Would you guys rather visit a beautiful location, another beautiful location, or a raccoon? Any preference, guys? What is your favorite location?
Free route and just watch the stream online.
Yeah.
You can travel the world. You can come. You can buy tickets. You can attend in person. Maybe you're
I can
thinking,
fly 8 hours.
oh, I don't want to go to
I can get
Sweden.
restless
It's
legs.
like, you know, like, it's
I can
Sweden is scary,
pace
like, it's
around
scary, I
the
promise you, but, like,
bathroom and the airplane.
Tour guide again. Here comes our tour seller again.
I'm just saying it's nice because you get to explore.
I can
the
catch a
world,
communicable
but you
disease.
also have something familiar,
I can be jet lagged,
Overwatch in the mix as well.
dehydrated,
So you always
and
have
depressed.
Stone.
All for several $1,000s.
Walking around Stockholm, you know, seeing
Raccoon, no doubt? Okay.
And, like, Swedish history, like,
I'm not charging. I don't know. Don't ask me. It's not my raccoon.
instead. So, what a great way to go explore the world with these events we got coming up.
Yeah, DreamHack and everything. My goodness, you've got everything ready at your disposal and a whole event that you can just explore and be a part of. Come on, camaraderie. That's exciting. I was a DreamHack.
It's not exciting.
Thing. It's great.
Isolation and paranoia are way cooler. Sweden should pay me money, yes.
Sweden is not dangerous. That was not a takeaway. It was just a weird way to lead into this one. You could have just said, like, hey, you want to, like, meet up with like-minded people over in Sweden? It's going to be a great time. So make sure to grab
kind
the
of what I
tickets.
did,
They're
though.
out there right now. So drop some coins. It's kind of what you did. It's kind of what you did. That's okay. We can just move on from this, Johnny. We don't have to.
I don't work in
past.
sales.
We're looking ahead.
I work in entertainment.
Future.
Okay?
Here is how.
Are they both Swedish or am I crazy? I might be crazy.
You're doing great. Yeah.
I might be clinically insane. Seriously, are they both Swedish?
Where we're at.
Where's Zoe
Teams
from?
are still at the top. I think once again in this bracket as well as the MEA bracket.
Swiss. Okay. Not Sweden.
Yeah, again,
Switzerland, Sweden,
we enter into this bracket to look at it as well. And
Sweetwater.
what's so surprising is that these two teams that we're going to be having coming up first in the lower semis are also the ones that haven't really leaned into the Symmetra. So
Bro, I didn't know she was from Switzerland. I understand there's a difference. There's the big free land where all the Nazi prisoners escaped from. And then there's Sweden, who just exists, I guess. It's a country. It doesn't have anything. It's not beautiful. It's not famous. It just is, you know? I understand the difference.
just as we saw in the MEA about this Tracer versus Tracer, you know, Sugar-Free and Rocket is something that comes
Man,
to my
come
mind
on.
immediately when I think about it and how that
There's 2 more matches today.
if they can move into that lower final, guaranteeing it, and just overall, I think it's gonna
There's a serious bias here, though. They're advertising DreamHack with a Swedish person up there. I'm not...
One more team to qualify here in NA as well.
Oh, I just heard thunder.
Of course, GK and
Wait.
Liquid making it.
Are we going to get Boom Boom?
There's other regions
We might be getting Boom Boom. Hang on.
already, in fact.
There are.
Tickets.
Yeah. It's a global sport.
Yeah, well, that's
My hair looks nice. You think this looks nice?
you heard the stations here.
This looks like a fungal growth gone bad. Like, it doesn't even look like a fungal growth gone good. It just looks like a fungal growth gone bad. Like I don't even know what... This is grandmother stuff. I'm checking the radar, Pepper. I don't see anything, really. It's kind of like crackling a little bit, but it hasn't made up its mind if it's going to do anything. Let me go look outside. You look like you play Overwatch. Yeah, that's exactly what I want to hear. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, this is just terrible. Like, yeah, that's better.
There you go.
Thank you.
That's my contribution to that. I wanted you to own that.
I appreciate it.
I don't like seeing anything. This stuff is
And again, with us being able to see it, again, going
Yeah, it
into
might just be like that
last
far
few
away.
weeks and really able to take a look at every team that's going to be.
It doesn't look like it is something. Can I stand up once without you guys being weird? Like once. I'm wearing pants. And I'm in the smallest frame I have possible on my OBS scene.
Like I said, I cannot wait, and I think you'd probably be just as excited too because it does.
That looking like you played Call of Duty?
I think what is this
Yeah, that's fair.
composition going to look like, or what they really want to lean into.
I also don't know what's gonna happen. Like I think look at the
They're pants! They're pants! They are!
ultimates, they're from the outside looking in.
I didn't do the Swiss-Swedish thing. I said I didn't know where she was from. Is she from Sweden? No, she's from Switzerland. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't get them confused.
I have no idea who's the fourth team because both Nightmare and SG are like evenly parts. So
Nothing will ever beat when I was doing the whole like co-streaming thing with Avril and Dallas, and everyone was freaking spamming Spilo Spin.
Part agrees to this one. She's hyped. She is ready. So let's talk about our 2 teams here. Nightmare and Space Station Gaming. These
Goats at hockey, Swiss, not goats.
teams which are on different kind of trajectories right now. Nightmare kind of trending downwards, and SSG is trending up. Let's discuss why that is.
Toblerone. What is Toblerone? That sounds vaguely familiar.
Became alive in the later portion
I'm not spinning.
of this stage. Things should start
Oh! Where's Squid? I don't know.
away from the switches. They started to look really good, Rich.
Oh, a chocolate. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, go right ahead. Yeah.
sorry, my bad, Rich. I was just too.
No,
excited.
you're good.
I was
I know
too
you are.
excited to
No,
get
I
over
want
about it.
you to take Space Station. I want you to do this. I feel that you need it.
Yeah, cause last week me and Jake and so we were kind of torn, and I was like SSG.
Chocolate with the mount in the background.
I really believe in that. Nightmare, of course, they look great going into this tournament as well. Questions.
I am such a sucker for packaging, bro. I go to the grocery store and I'm like, ooh, it has like a green or brown or like organic looking package. They could literally be like, you could look in the package and be like, it is literally just a giant block of testicular cancer. But if it looks like it came from the mountains, then I'm probably gonna buy it. I am very vulnerable to that sort of marketing.
Mentioning about how SSG is kind of on this upward trajectory.
Like, let's look at Toblerone really faster. Would I fall for Toblerone?
Not like a spiraling effect, but it just feel that
No, I wouldn't. I mean, it's not bad. It's the red text, though. It just looks... No. No.
Doing so much and bringing so much value on that initially when it came to the season, but because of how things have developed, Rocket still working in tandem alongside it, having this tracer has been significant.
I recognize it, though. I've definitely seen it run. I'm sure it tastes good. Yeah. I just don't eat candy in general, ever. Nothing against Toblerone.
Puts them up on a pedestal, and hopefully this week leading up to this weekend has been enough time to really communicate between each other to get to that position.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. We'll have to see what Nightmare
Shut the
can
frick
bring
up,
out in this match.
Johnny.
With Freya on a bit of a downward trajectory. Who's going to step up here for Nightmare? To bring us all the action in this matchup between SSG and Nightmare, we're bringing in Avril and Jaws.
Damn, Johnny doing the throw. Okay, I didn't expect that. I ain't lying. Yeah,
Abby!
Bringing you through this lower bracket
Abby!
semi. Space Station versus Nightmare. Brand new patch, although it didn't
Jack.
really seem to change anything.
I think some of the biggest changes were obviously coming through from the DPS passive side. So the
So the China games, there's chronic brig bullying over there. What does that mean?
Impact in the game, but I bet the tanks will feel. I bet they will feel the difference in the damage.
I don't know how long he's been casting OWCS, but he's been casting professional Overwatch for 6 years.
Notably on the Lucio, I personally think Lucio is going to be one of the heroes of the entire playoffs, just given play rate. I think Briggs' play rate will end up dropping.
Shut the frick up, Surly.
A bunch of Lucio Kiriko.
Can I pick up bowling? No.
I'd be surprised if anyone.
I bowl occasionally. It's not bad.
Yeah, that healing buff is
I just hate
quite
waiting.
Considerable, but yeah, like you talked about, the
Cast OP this season? Don't think so, but I don't know.
being changed, so everybody receives a little less healing.
Nightmare ban Sojourn.
It's hard to tell.
They
by the
ban
eye test, but
Hazard.
when you're actually playing, you definitely.
Oh,
feel
as in they're
it.
dead a
I
lot.
asked
Okay, I
Sika,
see.
Coming into this weekend, like, oh hey, like, what do you think of the patch? Dude sent me a LeBron dunking gif, and I was like, okay, so he feels pretty good. So hopefully, Space Station off the back of. Yeah, I wonder why, right? Off the back of something like.
How did teams decide to get picked? It's standing, yeah.
From 0-0, Paul got massively buffed this patch. I do wonder.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Tracer also got like, I wouldn't say the most incredible buff of all time, but considering how little Tracer gets changed, the 5.5 to 6. I mean,
That's
Tracer
pretty.
is
That's a
so
big
bad.
buff,
Sugar-free,
dude.
you don't
Dude.
have to pay.
5.5 to 6. Okay, that is 0.5. What is 0.5 in 5.5? Well, it goes in 11 times. How many times does 11 go into 100? 9 times. It is a 9% damage boost. That is a big deal. Big deal.
That's exactly where Nightmare want to win this at.
Yeah, it's worth keeping in mind as well. Nightmare have been boot camping down in Florida. Spoke to some of the Nightmare management the other day, and yeah, having that big boot camp, I'm sure you've seen pictures on social media as well. Is
Chronically online.
Chronic taking out Seeker on the Freya.
Absolutely destroys.
Unfortunately, Space Station Gaming in the recent couple of weeks that we've seen them, they've been shying away from the Freya. Seeker looking far more comfortable in the Sojin. But this probably will be the defining battle, the Chronic versus Seeker battle, where if Sojin...
Oh, nice javelin from Painkiller.
More bolts coming on through.
Yeah, that Soja bat is so massive from Nightmare. How's the ban on the other side for Space Station, though, Avril? What'd you make of that?
Yeah, this is definitely Chronic going, oh, I'm just the best Freya, so frick you.
A little bit of dive on some of the other rounds here on Busan.
She makes Hawk sad. She also makes Ramatra sad on paper, too, which we love to see. I take Tracer for... I take Sugar Free over Rocket, but slightly. I take Chronic over Seeker. Painkiller Kellen, I'm not sure. I'm not sure with the backlines, to be honest with you.
35% of building. Lucamino has got the rush and Sugar Free.
You don't love that? Oh, that's right. My bad.
From this off angle, didn't want to burn recall too early, but Lucamino stepping up with that rush.
You guys hear that thunder?
Though for Space Station, it's going to be all on Chronic and Seeker again to try and find these first kills with these take aims.
Seeker looking for angles, but he has to go through the mid position now. Just can't quite hit a bolt to save his life, though.
He can't hit a ball to save his life, Admiral. Oh my gosh.
An extra kill to
Painkiller gets isolated, rotations.
holding on to this point.
Juice, sauce.
So they are going to give it up eventually, of course.
Oh,
with Space Station
right,
having Orisa on
right in the
board.
noggin.
Yep, there it is. There's the flip.
A decent one. Painkiller going down. We'll give the advantage over Space Station. Happily taking that one away. As the Yulin Kitsune rushes. End up slowly but surely going away of Space Station. Decent lead.
I'm gonna miss this, though.
Found for Nightmare. Painkiller.
Replay viewer for pro play again? I have no idea, man.
Towards the neutrals. Chronic still
Probably too many resources that they won't be bothered with. Meow, kill it.
Lep and Balis. You can see Sugar Free onto the sidelines there.
Oh, Rocket goes for the pulse and gets his head caved in. And a Javelin kills Chronic, I think.
Sugar's back. Ready to rock and roll. I mean, at the end of the day, if Space Station...
Yes, the Nording system is number one priority for sure.
In a buff state as well. Like,
predictions! It's too late. You know what? Frick, I'm doing a prediction right now. If you're stupid enough to do if you're stupid enough to be like, oh... Here, fine, Frick, I'll do a prediction. Nightmare or SSG. Nightmare, SSG. We'll do 30 seconds. Predictions live right now. You gamble at your own risk. The game is started, so.
Good flank. Really nice flank. Soundbar ends up connecting with Chronic as well, who's in the backline. Laser beat for Space Station, but they only hit 4, of course. The Seeker's dead. And now a Terror Surge and a Rush being used by Space Station on this point.
Layer City.
Invested from Nightmare as well, so it is just about whittling down that Orisa health bar. Painkiller eventually falls as Chronic just unable to even dent the armor of Kellen, who goes golden. Rocket does end up coming up with a kill, in fact, though. This later rush from Lucamino just staying them a little
I didn't even see what the results of the prediction were. Did you guys get a chance to vote?
From Chronic shutting down Seeker. I'm not even sure if Seeker got the bowler shot out. Might have been a bowler jacks, but doesn't matter. That ultimate sometimes doesn't find that much value anyway, and Nightmare out
40-60.
Position to take place in the final fight. It's going to be 81 apiece, both sides. Lost one back online for Rocket. Again, didn't get a chance to use it last time, I believe. Came out of his hands, but didn't land anywhere. Sugar Free got that 1v1 kill.
You gambling? I love that from you, Kyber.
Sugar Free again, looking for an entrance on the sideline.
Angle with the Lucio Tracer, trigger discipline. Chronic is low. Chronic is still on the roof. Chronic gets a little bit of pocket from Luke. He's able to drop back down, looking for Bolo on the angle.
It's meaningful, but at that distance, not so much.
Bolo's there.
Here's the bowler shot from Chronic. Not entirely sure where that went. No initial kills from it, so you got to imagine that was maybe just a whiff.
Seeker says no. No.
Chronic ends up going down. Seeker finally getting his revenge, now trying to chase Rocket. Grabs the mega health pack, so Seeker's attention diverted now to the point as Painkiller shot by 4, 5, 6, 7 different people at this point.
You have no idea.
Fighting for his life as
Just gamble. No idea. Ignorance is bliss. Get it?
Fast respawns here from Nightmare. Pressure onto Bliss here could be pretty decent, but Rocket going down a low HP.
No recall.
Rocket's dead.
Well, he gets the blink though from the health back.
70 HP, one more blink, another health back. How does Rocket get away? There it is. Okay, he'll come through for Sugar Free. No touches here for Nightmare.
10,000 on SSG? Yikes, dude. I love the confidence.
Visually as well. Got to commend Seeker on the second half of that for making the comeback happen. Revenge onto Chronic. Importantly, consider where that second to last fight went.
Sugar Brawn?
First, huge damage, as you mentioned, onto Chronic, forcing him away. And then Seeker eventually finding
with the sauce
potential to get his revenge onto Chronic. Chronic down early, 5v4 enabled. Lower numbers in the remaining team fight. Sugar Free starts popping off hard on that Tracer. As you can start to see, I mean, damage for both our Tracers is pretty high, but the eliminations, the actual kills coming through from Sugar Free that we saw was a lot.
Yeah, it looks pretty good for Sugar Free right now. I mean, even
Freya is really important in this point here. A lot more verticality. Tracer has more space in the previous round, but this one's going to be very important with Freya performance. And you even see it with the BAP, right? They're going to whip out the BAP here just because of the verticality.
Also didn't know that the Seeker was doing plenty of damage.
There's the stick on Rocket. That's going to be a forced recall.
Oh, that shit from Lucamino not quite hitting Lep as Sugar Free just chases the Lucio down.
I mean, Seeker hit a couple of shots here, you know?
No surprises, Sugar Free once again with the cleanup. Seeker.
Oh, good, Kyber. That's good.
Off to a decent lead here.
Neither Lucio died. Yeah, that was funny.
At the beginning of the previous round, but as we move into this one, it's looking all nice. As they force out the lamp from Lucamino, Lep onto low HP, and the instant cleanup. Nightmare just had no chance to fight unless their DPS between Rocket and Chronic could find some sort of reprieve. And Seeker's found so much damage that he's about 30% ahead of Chronic at this stage. Kellen, 1 HP.
Suzu though. Painkiller takes a couple of take-aim shots from the Freya. Now shooting at Kellen's rather large head. Orisa, easy to shoot if you're the striker or the...
oh no, he gets denied the Mega! Oh no!
Amazing boot from Lep. Denies Kellen of the Mega. They secure the kill with the help of Rocket. Should be a pretty easy cleanup here, but any kind of death here for Nightmare is going to be bad. They're chasing Space Station into their side of the map currently, though.
Oh, he gets the shot after.
Nice follow balls, but it's actually going to be Chronicle with Sugar Free. We do see both.
I think he just resets here.
Respective traces on the opposite
Oh,
field.
hello, Seeker? Oh, what? No Bliss dies. I think that was a boop from Lepa into Bliss.
Seeker really thought they could win that, and a nice spear from
You look good with cornrows. Thank you. Akaze.
Ski-whiffed fight here from Nightmare, losing both
Akaza, sorry.
This bowler traded for Ant Matrix from Luke Mina, so still a positive trade, but time factor is a little bit weird. Like you sort of mentioned, point already went over to Nightmare. And Seeker
Shield
wants to extend
perk.
that fight a little bit. The next fight's on to come on
Pretty
through.
good, Busan, is the shield perk.
Shot online for Led.
Is Arista strong right now? She's okay. Good. Just how do you get a bolo that free?
Connects directly with Seeker. Splash damage hits Bliss.
Hey, Epic.
Nice double
What's
kill
up, mate?
for
How are you?
Freya. Good cleanup from Sugar Free though onto the Freya, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day. As Nightmare
Team kill.
Still really close, so we're into 50s early. This is the 41 from Space Station. A lot of back and forth, but it's a couple fights in a row now for Nightmare.
Wow, Luca gets his lamp force just from Seeker's shots here.
Played in the fight a little bit longer at the reset one more time, coming back
Oh,
to
you're
the
sick?
fight.
No, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I hope you feel better.
Ends up winning Bliss. I think he ended up getting beat towards the end, but not an opportunity to counter. So this is gonna have to be the fight now. Tempo beat might be.
They're just going. That's a beat engage right there.
Nice movement here from Luke.
Oh, Seeker. No, Seeker, no.
Deep into the back line. And now isolated.
No.
Might take that back actually. Kellen's going to join the fray as well.
Anything on the radar?
1 HP gets chased out
It's
by
a giant cloud, but I don't really...
from Lucamino does finish off the tracer, but once again,
Yeah, it's weird.
Space Station are on the wrong side of the map. A Nightmare approaching that 100%.
And they're about to get this one as well. Space Station, they're down one. The respawn's only coming back.
I still think Zarya has the better matchup if the map's good for her. Orisa just has a better matchup versus more characters. Ah!
Chronic shuts down Seeker, stops the touch.
Frick! That beat engage was good. They just whiffed everything, man. Like, dude. Why am I saying dude? Luke Mino didn't even have lamp, man. Just whiffed everything.
Long chase onto Luke Mino, couldn't quite find the shots.
You sounded like Lifeweaver. What did I say?
You know,
We've already established I could do a decent Lifeweaver, but I didn't do one on perfect there.
Team
kill.
Hello
there, IG23Flex. I'm your favorite support, Lifeweaver. I'm gonna life grip you into Wrecking Ball mines. Your mother's disappointed. Haha. Do your homework. Get a job.
They go to a decider here onto Busan. It's going to be a little bit of a change up. Seeker now going over towards the cash. Chronic as well to
All right, Cassidy, and they're immediately gone.
Yikes. Yeah, the Freys don't have as much like headroom on this map as you'd like. Ideally, you want an open map completely on the skybox at the very least, and you can get those updrafts pretty nice. But yeah,
The goth guy who... Okay, man. Okay, dude.
He just picks up where he left off.
Lich King appearing and having to destroy his phylactery. I mean, to be honest with you, I think the Lich King is kind of overhated. Yeah, I think it's more of just like he's just like the obvious answer for being the big evil guy, but really if you think about it, it's more of like I've always been a bigger fan of like what the Rhododendron Club can do in terms of like peak evil, because the Rhododendron Club is like way sneakier about it. And so when they kind of introduced sigil trading, and they made it so that like it's really easy for like even the average person to disrupt things and cause like be able to voodoo doll really anybody that you want, I found that to be way more disturbing than the occasionally comically evil thing that the Lich King can do. And the phylactery never really bothered me. I mean, they can do whatever they want. I mean, yeah, they're the big, you know, the infantry, I guess you could say, you know. The cavalry, I guess, would be the better description. But honestly, again, it's just like the comically evil stuff is never really the thing that you're worried about. Right, exactly, Sarah. He's just like the cops, you know, like you don't. I get it, you know, but like he's the establishment evil guy, right? He's holding structure, you know. What are you gonna tell me that like Emperor Palpatine was bad too? Right, of course.
denies the ability for CJ to find any value out of that one. Left to come through for a bit of insurance policy on the beat as well to make sure that Nightmare.
Right, exactly. So what do you want? Do you want either chaos or do you want order? Like order, you know, orderly evil or not? And our alternative right now, there isn't any alternative, you know? Epic for you? What that what question? Honestly, epic for you. That question legit sounds like it's a good question, but it literally sounds like somebody doing. Have you guys ever seen those Marvel Rival like mobile ads? I get them on Reddit occasionally. They're easily the worst advertisements I've ever seen in my entire life. Do you think this game is worth reinstalling for someone who values playmaking and a fast-paced, aggressive playstyle? Yes? Alright, let's get in and play Overwatch 2. Wow, ultimate from Diva Bomb. Matrix, okay, dive backline, kill, team kill, victory is mine. Yes, team. Yikes. Buttocks clenching cringe. Seriously, screw you for making me think about that. I thought I'd forgotten those things. Dice of critch. I kind of like that word, critch. I also hate critch. I'm a big critch hater myself. You guys have heard of the Lich King? Have you ever heard of the Critch King? No, that's okay. I would say, Epic for you, install the game and play. And if it's fun, then play. And if it's not, uninstall. Critch King was your buddy back in the old WoW raids? You guys have heard of Leroy Jenkins, but have you heard of Leroy Critch? Oh. Sugar Brawn, guys. Sugar Brawn. Oh, he didn't get the lamp. Oh, no. He... Ay. Poor feller. Got a critch on my neck. He was an insane Paladins player? I mean, he wasn't insane. He was good. He was like the entry level to what Paladin should do, but that's like saying Christopher Nolan is peak cinema. We've talked about this before, you know? Okay, I gotta go wee-wee. Give me a second. Yeah, I gotta wee-wee. I haven't wee-weed in hours. I've been downloading my urine to power myself up to greater execute. No, it's fine. It's just like it pushes you to do a better job, but you know, yeah, I could stop right there.
And importantly to that as well for Nightmare, of course, they are fighting in this series for that final qualification spot. A very scary affair when you're against a team like Nightmare, who only lost a single series during the regular season. I mean, Nightmare, if you look at their previous series as well, against Space Station, it was Space Station that won that first control map. And to be fair, they've been doing that on Ilios since the beginning of Stage 1. But Nightmare, after that, just swept them. Circuit Royale, Suravasa, Runasapi, as we saw the true power of Nightmare. And honestly, the true power of Freya as well, like with Chronic on that pick. But like you pointed out, even the Cassidy against someone like Seeker still looks clean.
Well, the good news is that Sojin can't be banned again from the Nightmare side, so Seeker should be able to lock that one in for the rest of the series if required. If I'm SSG right now, thinking about the potential of taking this to a more divey map, we've seen them pick Dorado in the past as well. I think Space Station ended up picking that one versus GK with a Diva ban, which would be pretty relevant here. It's actually going to end up being Hollywood, but again, the opportunity to maybe, at least for the B side, look towards a die, but really throughout the entire map, I think you can just...
Who's Eski?
I think they're confident with Kellen on the Arista. I'm hearing good
things. Or Esqui?
Capability on the Arista. We're starting to see some of that through as well. But most importantly, if they can get an opportunity
Tinkle
to
power.
Freya from contention, or at least force into a Soja matchup, that's going to be very
collab with Pokemon?
Have that first ban as well.
A little bit of better win percentage there for SSG on Hybrid, 60 to 50 on the side of Nightmare. That, I will say, though, Escort, 88% win rate on Escort for Nightmare is... Yeah.
Whoops. Cherry Act. I don't want to spoil the game for me.
Bonjour, mes amis. Oh, it's
Is that,
finally come to learn.
That's me? Is that what I look like or sound like?
Freya ban, like I said, I think Freya ban is still available for SSG. They haven't done that yet, so at some point the Freya ban will come on through. This wouldn't be a bad one to put into play already.
Well.
Tank bans right now.
Hey, I have to go pee pee. My bladder's gonna go boom boom like Diva Bomb.
Liz or Lep, who are you picking for your fantasy team? I don't have a fantasy team. I hate fun. I scream at people, yell about angles, then read a book and wallow in my self-misery. The Critch returns. The old critchy old man. SSG, they pick the wood of Holly. Nightmare bans the Winston, so no Kellen Winston. But they also ban Freya, so they're gonna get Seeker and like Soj or something. I'm level 50? Oh, okay. How do I level up to become Esqui? More supplementation? Expedition on sale, is it worth? I don't know. I've heard it's freaking amazing, but everyone and their freaking mother is like, you're going to play Expedition 33, you love it. I'm like, okay, I will. How much is it on sale for? I might have to, if it's on sale now, I am planning on playing at some point, so. I have a couple of other games that I have to play first, so I don't know if I want to buy it just yet, but if it's going to be cheapest now, then maybe I should. Get a haircut to level up. Okay, that's predictable. I'm not a JRPG person myself. I've never played a JRPG, and I don't feel like I would enjoy a JRPG, but I honestly don't know. Okay, good to know, Kyber.
And then if Space Station end up picking Escort, well, they'll...
What were your thoughts on the Malazan books? One, it was the weakest book, I think. Malazan book 1 is by far, I think, the weakest book of the series, but it's also like a perfect encapsulation of everything wrong with Malazan. So like, part of me is like, just suffer through it. It gets a lot better because it absolutely does. But he revels in his self, like, it just feels like, what's the term here? I'm not going to try not to be crass here. It's a little self-congratulatory, I guess. He needs an editor. That book would have been gone from, that series would have gone from like a 7 or an 8 out of 10 to a 10 out of 10 if he'd been actually a good writer. It's just a lot of stuff that's not explained well, and that's part of the appeal, and I just find that really silly. So, I think the Garden of the Moon, or whatever the frick it's called, is like the perfect example of everything wrong with Malazan. So it definitely is not as bad, usually, but there are a lot of moments that are going to be like that. Got stuck in early book 3. I don't remember which book 3 it was. Book 2 and... is that the big war one with the cannibal people, I think? I see, I don't remember. There's just so much crap that goes on. And if you got stuck, that one's one of the more... Yeah, the March of the Wiccans with book 2. And the third one is when they were back in the war with the... What was the cult, right? And if you got stuck on book 3, then I said the series is not worth finishing, because book 3 is actually one of the more cohesive stories of books on the list, where you could actually find out you can actually track what's following or what's going on. So if you didn't enjoy, like, book 2 and 3 are like maybe not the peak of the series, but at least the most cohesive. And if you got stuck, then I would say just call it. But your mileage may vary. Strategic depth? Depends. High ground? I frankly like the Kiriko here better, but that's probably just more of a Kiro comfort thing, so BAP is fine here too. I just like the ability for the Kiriko to move consistently a little bit better. And I think Kiriko's ult scales a lot better. CJ's dead. I shouldn't have said anything. Is there a reason D.Va isn't used? Yes, absolutely. Hero comfort. Kellen, Painkiller are not going to freaking play D.Va here.
God, minus what? Press Q to die for Seeker at Space Station. End up losing this fight.
And that's just huge. He just finds the flanking angle, gets a double rail shot, and Bliss is not able to use the sound barrier because you've just lost his instantly. He's like, wow, my cousin is popping beside me. And what he's supposed
D.Va OT back in the day? Fair enough.
It's a bit rough with Space Station.
But yeah, D.Va absolutely would be good here.
Instant swap, instant success. Now Nightmare finally take the heels and a little bit.
If the character is like at all strong in the meta, or just in a vacuum, then D.Va's like really strong at this point. Really, really strong. Could be hero. Yeah, could be hero comfort. Could not be. I don't know. But I think it was a good question.
There comes Chronic down from the rafters. Nice little double kill, and I think Bliss is feeling the same thing as he felt last fight. To be honest, my team is already dead, so we cannot even use the beat to win the fight.
That was a crazy angle from Chronic there, man.
Bliss was with the team, and they were hard committing as 5. Space Station looking for different positions to play through, but you just see Seeker on the low ground, on the opposite of the high, like east of the low ground, kind of towards the spawn of where Nightmare was. It's just so easy for Chronic to slide off backwards, find that shot, and another shot as well coming
Hey, this is okay. This is okay.
another 2K from Chronic, and another situation where Bliss just can't enable this beat.
I mean, this is also North America, man. Like, we're not going to pretend that whatever they play is optimal all the time. They're just going to play whatever. Especially if it's a freaking Brawl tank, they're like, well, any excuse to play Brawl tank will do it. No, Urus is not, I would say, even close to being meta and ranked at all. She's okay in ranked, but we won't go down the rabbit hole right now, but yeah.
In Korea, I see a lot more teams play the opposite high ground across the bridge and play the window from that side instead. It's so easy for Space Station to disengage, but Kellen's 1 HP again. Space Station, be careful.
I'm just surprised to see there's just been no real attempt to take high ground from Space Station, despite having like moments where they had the superior ult economy. Like if you have Kitsune beat like Orisa ult, like you have the tools you need to take high ground if you'd like to. It just feels like they're throwing a lot on card and just kind of giving up the high ground over and over and over again. It's not easy to take high ground. It's not something you should always be aiming for, but like it's been the same story for the last 3 minutes. I don't think there is a tank meta right now, is what I'm saying.
Again, this guy is on one today. Unbelievable performances across the board. We've seen what he did on Frey on that first round.
Oh gosh, frick. I need to do the prediction. I need to do the prediction. Hang on. I have to choose it right now. I forgot. Who won? Nightmare. I'll do another prediction after this round for the final map. I will. Okay, payouts are there. Sorry guys, I forgot. It's really too late for me to do a prediction here, so I'm just not gonna do one now. I might do one at the halfway point because technically there's not any lifetime adjustment of what your prediction should be. Congrats on your 10 points, IG23.
Finally, time for Space Station to move up.
They gotta get Painkiller off this high ground though. It's been so difficult. Even Bliss trying to get there, maybe get the boot. Terror Surge, post bomb from Chronic, steals to make a health pack away, and
ah, jeez, man.
Scattered Avril. Seeker with 1 kill with the overclock, but they traded Lucio's right now, but he needs more kills. Kellen also ends up falling, so once again up to Seeker to try and beat that
21k?
But he's shut down by Lucamino. It's 10 seconds to go.
Yes, I leaked that it's a 3-0. Congrats.
Sugar Free's post bomb goes wide, CJ is dead, and that is where the payload is going to end. You can't fight into this as Lucamino. One farewell gift there to Sugar Free. One burst of that.
You lost 10. Disaster. Okay, I will set up the prediction now because it's not going to change. You can choose to vote for whoever you like. We'll do a full minute this time. Keep in mind, this is for this map. This map. Yeah, tank meta being diverse is pretty cool. I mean, I don't always love the Brawl tank dependency, but at least we're getting some nice variety, you know? Variety is the key for meta, I think, more so than anything else. I'd rather have a variety meta than a dive meta. I would.
The Freya situation for Seeker adequately in the opening rounds, and even on the later rounds we stopped the cast. Okay, it's still Sugar Free though that has his moments to shine. If he's not getting flashbang headshot coming through from Chronic, Sugar Free is pulling through Space Station big, but on this Hollywood attack, outside of A, we saw on B, so many times he got shut down, so many times Seeker got shut down as well. It's just been a rough one. And now Nightmare looking very strong. We'll see how they do on their attack with a bit of a listen in.
Yeah, this is live. Oh, we got comms.
All where his heroes are walking.
Yeah. If I see her going stairs, are you guys able to flip to top right on their high ground?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right top. Sphere.
Blue.
Yo, Ori.
Very still.
Search. Same comp. I don't see Trey. I'm
swinging mid. 3, 2, 1. Swinging mid.
Shoot Ori.
Ori's still a server.
Shooting Ori. I'm walking bottom left. Blocking straight left. Play Lou left. I'm blocking them. Yeah, you guys can take high now.
I'm still shooting Ori. Bottom right.
They wanna flip up. Yeah, right. I'm in all the way.
2, 1. Swinging mid. Pushing main. Giving me the map. They're giving me the map.
Lou one. I'm
Pushing stairs.
Surge behind you, weak.
Pushing stairs.
Flip, boys. Surge really one dead. Play left. Help you kick corner.
They're going stairs.
Okay.
Flipping
I'm joining my cross. Playing left right now.
Shooting Ori. Ori, yeah.
We're in a spin.
Carry one.
Ori one bottom right.
Carry no Suzu.
I'm going here. She's above. Kieran.
Get cat. Come back. We have numbers, better numbers.
Take a breath.
My God. Chronic is looking fire right now. Straight fire, honestly. This guy is ridiculous on the Sojourn currently. I don't say that lightly either. Seeker, kind of a god on the character himself, but kind of getting rolled by Chronic. A final attempt of a push here by Space Station.
Yeah, it's just really good space control from, coincidentally, Nightmare, not Space Station. Like, these rotations from Nightmare just feel really deliberate and calculated. It just feels like Space Station is permanently surrounded, man. You know, like, it just rotations are just freaking good, man. Controlling angles and rotations, it's really important. Is there any pro that isn't pro that think is Crazy Middle is underrated? Not really. I don't follow. Wait, what? Hang on. That was weird. We're back. Internet's fine. Don't know what happened there. Twitch just bonked.
Show the overclock as well. Seeker.
Oh, jeez. Oh, this is going to be a 3K. I can smell it. Ah, frick. Dang it.
Check. Emotional damage, check. More damage than you
I'm standing up.
Check. Like Nightmare have
Can I change my camera so you guys? Yeah, see? Check this out. Hi, everybody. I am 5'8".
Doesn't work out for you. What have you really got left? The ultimates though. That's the good news. OC for Seeker. They just see him pop off.
Oh, jeez. There's no way that he can get up there. Seeker's cooked, bro. Even with the beat, he's cooked. Dude, Space Station cannot take top, man. There's Suzu, there's Ult, there's Terra Surge. That's it, man. Nightmare is freaking cooking right now with the space control. Need to get your nose checked? Thanks, man. Dude, Nightmare's rotations and dude, it's just insane. They're just so much better at the space control. They're just so much better. Alright, well, another prediction. Which 10,000... Rip 10,000 points? Yeah, that sucks. Which body part is being sacrificed today? I don't know. Which one should we sacrifice? Oh, dude. What did I tell you guys? 3-0. Left ear? I mean, it could be worse, you know, because, like, I guess you could still hear if you lost your ear, no? Because it's like, oh, you're here. I mean, it probably wouldn't be as very effective at hearing, but it still technically would work. Your VIP scam award? The arrest both hopped?
You just go to 5 maps being one of the strongest teams against a team that you expect aren't going to make it to the major, that don't really have
kneecaps
in the playoffs. It felt weird, but it felt right, is what it felt like.
What is Callan doing? I mean, I don't know. There's just so many things going goofy with SSG. They, on defense, can't control high ground. On offense, can't take high ground. It's not just it's always about high ground. It's just like in general, like the rotations and angles have just like felt really not as well. I mean, you guys heard the Nightmare communication there. It was pretty good, right? Like, they very deliberately are talking about controlling angles, +1ing. I help, I mark, you know, and then taking here and then rotating from there and helping Luke flip the map when he got rotated on, you know, on Baptiste. So, by the way, if you guys ever see me at LAN, this is kind of the this is the look you're gonna get. You get what I'm saying? This is kind of like the perspective you're gonna have. Forget Sugar Free's a pro. They used to both hop on the bridge and did a mini jousting tournament. Yeah, it's scary on that bridge, man. One mistake and you're off the. Flip the map means one team starts here, the other team starts here, and then they just go whoosh. Because like one team does like forces their CDs out and they have to back up and then they kind of fill the spot. And then they're like, oh crud, we can't retake that defensive position. So let's try to rotate around and try to approach it from a different side. That you walk up the stairs, I guess? Okay, buddy. But yeah, flipping the map is more along the lines of like, oh no, we've lost all the space. Let's try and take it from a different position. A foot taller than Spilo. You're 6'8"? And a half? Yeah, it happens a lot in pro play versus ranked because pro players there's a lot more like Lucio speed comps. So there's a lot more cohesive rotations, whereas ranked is a lot more static. Beat Logan Paul in a WWE ring. I think Logan Paul's got to be bigger than me. I could probably out-wrestle Logan Paul, but I don't think... I think he's bigger than me. Should be. Definitely is bigger than me. 200 centimeters. So that's like, what? Yeah, 6'8". Yeah, a little bit less, like 6'7". You can rest my head on your head too. Why would you phrase it like that? I am 5'8.5". Stop laughing, Rabbit. It's important. It's important. Colosseo. The 0.5 is critical, guys. It's critical. It's crucial that we get that right. You cannot miss the 0.5. Like, seriously, though, like, look at how much that is. That's a lot. That's a lot right there. You might not think that's much, but you could do a... Like, that adds up. You know? Because if you think about it, the shorter you are, the smaller you are, the more of a percentage increase. If you're, 6'8", it doesn't matter as much. You get what I'm saying? It's just simple math. Want to meet the streamer so I can ruffle your hair and pick y'all up? Ruffle my hair and pick me up? Yeah, I'm just not going to even comment at this point. Not even going to comment at this point. SSG is going to ban. They're going to ban. And force Luke on Kiri. And then Nightmare bans Tracer. I don't know what you're going to see here. I guess Genji? Has to be Genji, right? No way they play Mei. I mean, we could play Mei. I mean, I don't know, man. This will be interesting here. This should be a fun last map, though. Because this will be the last map. I'm going to start my prediction right now. Go ahead. I dare you guys to prove me wrong. 30 seconds. Predictions live. That may work. Ha! Funny. You're the worst. How many people are going to predict SSG just to screw with me? Or because they really have confidence, guys? I love that there's one person. Listen, 24-3 is not balanced. 30-4? Okay, whoever's voting for SSG is going to win big. If they lose, man, or if they win, dude, I would take those odds. 6-1, are you kidding me? Even with my guarantee, that's hubris, you know? All right. Listen, I respect it. I respect it. You let it go, you know? Okay, Orisa, Kirilusu, Sim, Genji. Yeah, okay. All right, Nightmare 3-0. Here we go. I will turn this up just a little bit here.
Early.
Because I'm yapping a little bit less. Sugar freeze. Sugar freeze.
I haven't seen a lot of Nightmare Sim play, but we do know, at least in the EU, it's big meta.
Sojourn, Genji, short range off angles, consistent pressure, Symmetra. Really good in the Orisa trade, but harder to control open space. I don't think we'll see a lot of teleport rotations from Nightmare. I would be surprised if Nightmare has a lot of reps on this composition. So in terms of raw execution, I have a lot less faith in Nightmare right here. This is not going to be playing at the same level that we saw some of the EMEA teams. Not even close. But maybe it doesn't matter.
End up coming up with kills for Nightmare.
You are too late to make a pred, Shutax. You are freaking fricked. I don't know how Nightmare wins that one. That just has no business.
Now Luke Mino's got a couple of extras. You have to start talking about the fact that I mentioned Luke Mino on the back on Hollywood as being able to save the day when Chronic started.
Marking Genji. Yeah, sorry. I specifically ended the prediction as fast as I possibly could, so you could not predict.
Definitely one of the best supports in NA.
Favorite map to watch? I don't know. I like the dynamic maps. I wish we saw more escort, but... what is going on? Genji deep, Colosseo deep, sugar free...
And this rush not exactly going Nightmare's way, not like they envisioned it.
They got kind of surrounded here. Cast is a tiny bit loud. Okay, I'll turn it down just a wee bit. Sorry, mates. Samu. You would not have liked the last match we watched.
Okay, they do lose control of the bot. But here comes Space Station, double support ult, and they've got this play coming up. Play combo. It's gonna be scary.
It's also the fact that Lep is still lagging behind.
Kyber, I honestly could not possibly care less, and I'm gonna really try.
Blade coming on through, but just a single
just for you. Nice Suzu. CJ gets the Kitsune. Chronic gets traded. Beat for beat. Bam Balam. Sugar free. Choppity, 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 choppity. Both the Rizzes just javelining each other. Because that's something, I guess. Callan is, there's a little bit of an HP trade here. Nightmare's got a slight advantage. Fortify is used there. Fortify is traded there. That's a nice little javelin there. Gonna have a disengage. And Nightmare has some time here to pop up the Sojourn ult. That will be mirrored. Who's the queen of the Sojourns here? That's a big dive onto the Orisa. Fortify is used. Javelin is used. Sojourn ults are traded, but the angle there from Chronic is superior. Doesn't matter. Seeker hits the shots. Nice. Seeker. Rocket is not doing a lot here. You could just tell this character he is not comfortable on this character. And yeah. I am jealous that I don't have a magical pet rock. What would you guys call Pepper then? What? That's true. I did call you magical. That's true. That was a bit of an overextension there from Callan. Callan's freaking fricked. Easy staging. Gets the cover. Yeah, Rocket makes a swap. I just noticed that. Yeah, the freaking get off the freaking sim. 12 Laos or Klaus or something? I don't know. 12 Laos. Thank you for the sub. I appreciate it, mate. Hope you're having a good day. She's a magical pet stone, not rock. Okay, my bad. You got upgraded to stone status. Again, I'm not sure if that's... Gemstone, yes. That's a magical gem. What? What kind of gemstone? Probably amethyst to start. Maybe we'll evolve. Kitsune! Fortify! Kitsune! Kitsune! Ult! Hits! Lucio! Bliss gets out! Sugar free out! Isolation! Everybody's on the floor! Genji deflect! Sugar free is isolated! Sugar free is! Coward! Coward Rocket! They catch the Lucio though. Rocket's alive. Deflect is not even used. Beat is layered. Bliss is dead, so beat advantage is there. Callan, they need an extra trade here. They really need an extra trade if they want to get lead here. Can they get sugar free? They need to get sugar free. Freaking Lep dies. Oh, that's really bad. But they get that Seeker, so that's not the end of the world. It is the end of the world. They're not going to be able to keep the lead here, I don't think. I think Space Station should be able to take this 4v4 sooner, and they have beat, so they can go 3-2-1. Now the question is, yeah, will they disengage? Oh, Lucas not able to get out. Okay. I'm surprised Nightmare wasn't ready for that. I think they tried to greed the cap there, but they should have been prepared for that. Okay, so Space Station holds on with the skin of the teeth. Someone needs to brush. And Nightmare's got Blade for Blade here, and that's going to be about it. Sojourn Old is obviously going to be relevant here, but there's still a world here where Sugar Free can make this work, just given where the space is happening here. So you're kind of obviously worried about this, but really Space Station doesn't really have to force anything. They have the lead here, so it's kind of more a Nightmare to walk into them, which might create an opportunity for Blade. That's deflect used. Waiting. Waiting. Might be waiting for Rail there before they go. Waiting more. Kitsune's used. Sojourn ult's used. They're going to try to disengage. Oh, no. This is... yeah, freaking cooked. Yeah. Cooked. Wait, they're going to try for this. They actually got it. Wow. Insane patience from Nightmare there. That was crazy. Now, they're not going to be able to take the lead off of this, but they are going to be able to put themselves in a good position to take lead. Because the Sojourn ult, I think with where this robot might be parked, there might be a good spot to tuck underneath the high ground. So it's not just like an auto win with the Sojourn ult here either. So yeah, see, they're underneath. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that, Painkiller. Yeah, see, this is hard. Okay, Chronic shouldn't have been there. Ooh. Bliss Painkiller kind of wasted his Fortify, though. This is not... Well, hang on. Kiriko's still alive here. If Painkiller can live, like, 3 more seconds, I think I give slight advantage to Nightmare, even with respawns. I think I give them the advantage here. Maybe not. I'm just making stuff up now. Oh, Nightmare's got to be careful now. You got beat disadvantage. They just need to kind of play this. They need to play to win this fight. They don't need to play for the objective here. Play to win. Orisa on the angle. Cowan gets javelined. They catch Chronic. Oh no, Beats used as well. I don't think this is one Nightmare can trade out, and they're not going to. That one hurts. Beat, it's fine. It's an ultimate being used, but yikes. Is the shield perk better for Orisa? It's very situational. The way that these fights have been kind of playing out, there's not as much push-pull, like not as much rotation, so the javelin spin is maybe not as necessity, but stuff like something that's been experimented with a little bit more. Necessarily. Now, can Space Station disengage the beat? They know the beat's coming. Can they live the beat? There's the Kitsune. Do we see Lep layering? We will see Lep layering right there. He doesn't catch Painkiller, though. He doesn't beat his Orisa. They need a kill now. Seeker pops Sojourn ult. They catch CJ. If Seeker... yeah, okay. I think this goes Nightmare's way, but it's ugly. It's real freaking ugly. Space Station made that one pretty messy. That was good. That was good for Space Station. I mean, I'm not going to be honest with you. Double support ult, and you used only Kitsune, you'll take that.
They need to win this next fight to secure the series. I mean, it's a game of inches. They need to win the next fight, or this is going to go to OT where anything can...
And now the problem here is that you have Sojourn Genji mirror, but you can't even get the robot underneath now. So you're just going to have to take it open space with a disadvantage in terms of the setup. If you take too long here, this is last fight. If you force this fight, you don't get any value out of your ultimates. Painkiller's getting chunked. High ground control looks to be with Genji and Sojourn. Oh, they're going. They just went. They set it up. The rotation, Blade and response. The problem is, though, is the Sojourn ult still... No, Sojourn ult from both teams is gone. Chronic desperate rocket. Oh, the Luke Vito comes in clutch. They get the lead. It's huge. Even if Space Station comes in here, and they should... That's a very late death from Kellen. They've got forward spawns as well. This could even be 2 fights for Nightmare here. A little bit more progress. That's huge. Whoa. Wait, can Painkiller live? He tries to force Beat. He does. And they catch Sugar Free. Beat comes in. Nightmare with the 3-0. with the last second setup on the high ground with their blade touch. Sugar Free does his best to trade. It doesn't matter. Nightmare's rotations, Nightmare space control comes in clutch when it matters. 3-0. What did I tell you guys? I told you. I mean, I warned you. But to be honest with you guys, if you did vote for SSG in this particular voting situation, it actually makes a lot of sense. I mean, 6-1 is just ridiculous. Hey man, between this and Commander X, we can don't gamble against me. Yeah, honestly, that was really well done by Nightmare. Honestly, they knew they had the map control disadvantage, and so they just set up a 3-2-1 speed up top with a Sojourner, and I just think SSG got caught by surprise. Rip your channel points. Congrats, Nightmare. Nightmare taking everyone's right now and leaving with bars. Well, that was something. They should put you behind bars. Well done. Good stuff. I mean, Sugar Free had a pretty decent game, like mechanically, from what we could see, but Nightmare is just infinitely better at space control, man. Like, they're just so much better at space control. The off angles, the timing, the coordination, just the fundamentals of just like how team play works, man. They just look so much more comfortable. I mean, consistently across multiple compositions and multiple maps. And you could kind of get a taste of it, like I said, in that little communicational segment. I mean, you should go back. If you guys want, like, it was a textbook. It was very good, though. And if you really want to see some good high-level communication, go back to that attack on First Point Hollywood and listen to how it was communicated. Seriously. The timing, where they're spacing, where they're rotating. Nice, Kyber.
Nightmare are the team on a downward trajectory, you know, with the meta shifts. We thought that what made them so strong in the early stages of stage 2, e.g. Chronic on Freya and like the Juno Break.
Good stuff, man.
That this might be an issue for them now in the playoffs. Well, it turns out nothing matters. The recent matches were a fluke. They're doing A-okay. Chronic can't be banned out. GG go next. He's been on a tear. I mean, the entire team was, but Chronic especially was just...
Yeah, Chronic, because Chronic is the guy that's rotating. Chronic is the guy that's getting the speed. Chronic is probably also calling a lot of these angles as well. Yeah. It's good stuff. It was good. It was good Overwatch. It was good Overwatch, man. I can't, sadly. Oh, wait, where's my head? Oh. Whoops, sorry. I can't.
I did not expect this to be a 3-0. And I know I bet everything on SSG. I vouched for them. I was like, SSG, this is their tournament.
All right, chat. I have to go. But I'm going to raid OC. How did your team communicate? I mean, which team? Some of the teams I coached, for sure. I'd like to think anyway. But it takes a lot of practice and time and good players to be able to communicate like that. All right, tell OC I said hi. Enjoy the rest of the stream. The next game should be killer. I wish I could stick around for it. And yeah, we'll see you guys. I might be streaming next Saturday, but I'm not really sure. So yeah, loves and kisses. I'll see you guys then. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Cheers, all.